that bothered him tremendously. That's the scene coming in. Terry Bradshaw is my partner back home in Louisiana again, Terry, and I've got to ask you about the emotions that you saw of the two teams.
Meeting with the Saints, Dick, you got the feeling that they were unsure of themselves, afraid to make a move, very quiet, very subdued. The 49ers, on the other hand, a little more up, a little more relaxed. Could be that Walsh's meeting early in the week was the key that relaxed his football team. Last night, Jim Mora met with the Saints, hoping to get that same relaxed atmosphere. I get the feeling today, watching these two teams, they have the attitude of a championship playoff game. That's what it feels like.
There is that atmosphere, no question. Now, the 49ers come in with a whole slew of injuries, including defensive line injuries that make them thin there against what could be a good running attack by the New Orleans Saints. So as we go in, notwithstanding the injuries, how do you see this game?
Well, the game's going to boil down to the quarterbacks. Montana's had Clark and Francis in, his two key receivers. They played in the replacement games. They should be sharp today. On the other hand, you've got Hebert, who hasn't thrown a pass in 5 weeks. Also, he's got the running attack. So it's the Saints running against Montana, the quarterbacks and the receivers of the 49ers.
All right, and we're set to go here in New Orleans. And keep in mind that the Saints are beginning 4 weeks of division play, and this is the only game they'll play at home. They have 3 road games coming up in the next 3 games against divisional foes. The Saints have won the toss and will be receiving, and Ray Wershing, you saw, getting set to kick off. Mel Gray goes back for the New Orleans Saints, and that's what he did last year, a club record, and keep in mind the 49ers are aware of that. He is the deep man. Barry Word, who will start at fullback, is also back there for the Saints as Wershing, the hardened veteran, getting set to kick off. 49ers at 4-1, the Saints 3-2. We're underway at the Superdome. And it's going to be Mel Gray, a yard in the end zone. And Gray brings it out just beyond the 20-yard line, and the tackle is made by Tom Rathman. Bobby Hebert starting at quarterback for the Saints, and this is the defense he will face of the San Francisco 49ers. And because of their injuries, Larry Roberts starts at left end, Michael Carter and Dwayne Board in the 3-4 base. Milt McCall, Jim Fawnhorst, Michael Walter, and Keena Turner are the linebackers. And in the secondary, McKyer and Griffin the corners. Jeff Fuller makes his first start since his rookie year, not counting 2 games in the replacement season.
Time is 14:52.
Dick Jorgensen, the referee, noticed a problem with the clock, and he has told everyone the clock did not move, that 8 seconds should have elapsed and 14:52 should be showing.
They've got to get everyone warmed up and get them punching the clock in, Dick, and get the thing going.
Cheer of the ball game, other than the Saints being introduced, is the cheer to get the clock right. In any event, the Saints on offense. You saw Bobby Hebert, who still has not jumped out. None of the quarterbacks who have been here have jumped out and have dominated. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Those are Hebert's 2-game statistics. In motion is Eric Martin. And here's Barry Word cutting inside. Word is starting over Buford Jordan because they want to get some running ability out of the fullback position. Here's the rest of the offense for the Saints. Reuben Mays, of course, is their bulwark carrying the ball. Eric Martin and Mike Jones are the wide receivers. Dombrowski starting at left tackle with Comiskey, Hilgenberg, Trapillo, a rookie, Stan Brock, the veteran, and John Tice is the tight end. Picked up 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7 on the 26, and Mel Gray has come in the ball game, replacing Barry Word. And Gray goes in motion. Reuben Mays doesn't get much in the middle of the 49er line. Came up strong, led by Michael Carter and Jim Fawnhorst, the inside linebacker. So it's 3rd down in a passing situation, Terry.
The thing we can look for today, look for Mel Gray doing a lot of the motion coming out of the backfield and the counter action that time by Hebert trying to go up inside. Saints will be successful going outside. But the real key will be Mays in motion, throwing option passes to him.
Basically, this is a running club. They don't have any speed burners on the outside. Dalton Hilliard is in the ball game at running back, and the shotgun as Gray goes in motion. 3rd and 5. Hebert has some time, and he lofts it, and it's caught. Complete to Mike Jones, and a first down in the 49er territory. A gain of 23 yards. He had a lot of time there to get that underway.
49ers believing that they can isolate Martin outside on McKyer. As you can see, Hebert checking for blitz. Turns out wide open man. Nice throw. Good job of adjustment that time by the receiver, 84, Eric Martin.
So McKyer and Griffin are the cornerbacks. As you look at Jones, who's a possession type receiver and showed it there. Acquired from Minnesota at the beginning of last year. And a 1st and 10 on the 49ers, 49. And Reuben Mays dives forward and really gets to the 45-yard line. Dwayne Board and Jim Fawnhorst making the stop. Reuben Mays, of course, with an outstanding year last season. And that's what he did against the 49ers in their last meeting. He gained 4 on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 on the San Francisco 45-yard line. Team split last year, and they split the year before that. Pitch goes to Mays. Word is blocking, and Reuben Mays is close to a first down inside the 40. This time, Fawnhorst and Michael Walter combined to make the stop on Reuben Mays, who really hits with power.
Well, the thing about Mays coming out, he ran the Bureau at Washington State, so they weren't real sure about how he would be reacting as a running back did if he was back there by himself handling the ball. A little pitch. It was designed to go outside. He saw the overflow and just simply cut back up inside.
The NFL's top rookie rusher last year with over 1,300 yards. 3rd down and 1 for the Saints. Spotted at the 49ers 40-yard line. 12:25 to go, first quarter. First drive of the game. In motion is Eric Martin. And up the middle is Barry Word, and Word close to the first down and appears to have it. This is his first NFL start, and Bill Walsh says that we have to start the Saints running game because that's basically what they're all about. First down.
Jim Moore, as you can tell, head coach of the Saints inside, realizing they're going to have to do the thing that they've done the last year since he's been here, and that's simply run the football. We don't want to put the pressure on Hebert, our quarterback, to have to carry us. We don't feel like he can do that. We have to run to take the heat off.
On first down, Reuben Mays loses the ball and alertly grabs it and goes down. An alert play by Mays. Jeff Fuller made the hit on him, and instead of just trying to pick it up and run, he was careful enough just to cover up after the fumble.
One of the real secrets to running outside will be the block of the left end, 85 Hobie Brenner. As you can tell, he's trying to hook his end, does a good job, actually slips down. But when Mays cut back inside, Fuller, the strong safety, slapped the ball out of his hand.
They lost 5 yards, and there's Jeff Fuller, who 49ers say he's a linebacker. A lot of people will say strong safety. He's big enough, though. 2nd and 15, back to the 44 of San Francisco. Hebert has time again and goes to Jones again, and this time it's incomplete. And Tim McKyer playing him a little closer that time as Jones didn't have possession. Out of bounds, incomplete.
One of the problems that Hebert has as a quarterback, it'll be interesting today to watch. He hasn't played in a while, but in the first pass he threw, he stared down Eric Martin. In the second pass, he stared down Jones. Anytime you stare down receivers, you take the coverage there. He's going to have to read the defense, make his mind up, and then come off of receivers. And when he does that, he'll get the other receivers wide open.
Tom Homo and Torrey Nixon in there. And the nickel package, that means Charles Haley, number 94, as well for San Francisco. Saints are perfect on 3rd down conversions in 2 attempts. 3rd and 15. Hebert gets a rush this time, and his pass overthrown. And there comes a flag, a late flag. Eric Martin was the intended receiver, and the question is, did Jeff Fuller interfere with him? Took a while for that yellow flag to come flying.
Well, the back judge is the guy that saw it. He's the guy that threw the flag. A lot of times you wonder, though, are these guys playing off the reaction of the home crowd? You know, everyone thinks that it's a flag.
Interference, number 49, defense.
That's a good point. Interference against Fuller, and it's a first down.
Jeff Fuller, 49 in the center of your screen, got his hands on his man, and once there you see the right hand holding back Eric Martin's jersey. no doubt that was pass interference, defensive holding.
And an 18-yard penalty at that, so it's 1st and 10 for the Saints. Threatening here on the San Francisco 26. Hobie Brenner in motion. Ruben Mays with a stutter step and barges forward inside the 25. Tackled by Charles Haley and Jim Fonhorst.
One of the criticisms that Bum Phillips used to have when he coached the Saints was they were too predictable. Run, 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 and the guy they always ran was Rodgers. And here today, other than Ward handling the ball one time, handling the ball one time, we've seen nothing but Mays up. 2 times he's going out wide and then 3 times up the middle.
Hard to break old habit.
It certainly is.
2nd down and 6 at the 22. And guess who? Ruben Mays again. Someone lost a helmet as Mays gets inside the 20. Michael Carter making the tackle. We're early here in the 1st quarter. No score, and the Saints have had the ball throughout this game thus far.
95, Michael Carter, nose tackle for the 49ers. Bill Walsh told us yesterday this is one guy that we have to have playing. He's the key to our defense. He's the guy that will hold up 2 guards in a center and let our linebackers flow and let them make the tackles.
Carter started the year, looked like he was going to have his best season, got nicked early, and now he's healthy because he's been out of action. This is the 11th play for the Saints on this drive. 3rd down and 3 at the 19. Inside handoff to Mel Gray, and he is stopped on the play. A loss perhaps of a yard, and the 49ers were right there, and it's 4th down.
Dwayne Board coming from the number 76 down inside, simply comes down inside. Dombrowski, the left tackle, misses his block, and Board sitting right there waiting on Ruben Mays. One of the problems out of the shotgun, very hard to audible and get out of plays. You have to pretty much stay with what's called.
This will be a 39-yard field goal attempt by Morton Anderson with Brian Hansen holding. Anderson is perfect so far this year, and he is still perfect as he gives the Saints a 3-0 lead on a 39-yard field goal. 9:05 remaining in the 1st quarter.
Five-week layoff didn't really affect Anderson at all. Yes, there it is. All right.
Well, the Saints have controlled the ball since the start of this quarter, and they're rewarded with a 3-point lead.
What? Right, fine. Yes.
You want to show me it?
All right.
Show me what you're going to put up, since we haven't seen it. Okay. You won't have the time. Okay, Anderson is the all-time leader.
Dick, you using the stool?
I'll have it here. Well, the Saints are blessed with a fine place kicker, Morton Anderson, who's given them a 3-0 lead, and you can see how brilliant he's been in percentage. He's the all-time leading field goal kicker percentage-wise. And now getting set to kick off, Del Rogers on the right and Harry Sidney on the left for the 49ers. And a good deep kick into the end zone. Rogers, 7 yards in, will down it there for a touchback. And that's what you want the kickoff man to do. Joe Montana, who got some playing experience. He's played 4 games of the 5 already, leading the 49ers, and the Saints also with a 3-4 alignment defensively. Bruce Clark, Tony Elliott, and Jim Wilkes, all veterans up front. Ricky Jackson, Sam Mills, Vaughn Johnson, and Pat Swilling are the linebackers. A new secondary. We'll tell you more about it. Dave Waymer, Van Jakes, the cornerback, Gibson, the strong safety, and Brett Maxey is the free safety. First play from the 20, and Montana wastes little time. Penalty flag down. He was going for Jerry Rice downfield, and covering on the play was Dave Waymer, and there's a flag down. Dick Jorgensen. And the penalty is against the Saints.
Illegal contact, number 44, defense, 5 yards, first down.
And it's against Dave Waymer.
Thing that happened after 5 yards, Dave Waymer, 44, still had his hands on Jerry Rice going down the field, had his hands all over, and Montana had the ball in the air, and that's the reason they threw the flag.
A 5-yard penalty. First and 10 for the 49ers on the 25. In motion is Terrence Flagler, a penalty marker down again, and Flagler, the intended receiver, off his hands with Brett Maxey covering. And another flag. 2 plays, 2 penalties on the first 2 for San Francisco.
Well, I'm a little surprised the 49ers with the flags. They're the one that really have been together.
Illegal motion, number 81 and number 51. Offense.
Randy Cross, the right guard, and Russ Francis, the tight end, declined the penalty.
One of the things I think the fans will enjoy today, a little key for them, is lineups, Montana, Craig.
And the rest. Go ahead.
Bubba, Paris, McIntyre, Bullen, Cross, and the rest.
Montana rolling out on a design rollout, and the pass to Flagler, complete and out of bounds. Just shy of midfield, and a first down. Mills makes the stop, and the first start by Terrence Flagler, the first-round pick for the 49ers out of Clemson.
Pressure automatically on the defense. When Montana gets outside wide, Sam Mills, 51, will turn around and chase Terrence Flagler. But the problem is Montana and Flagler, it's like he's wide open. Even though Mills is close, Mills has his back to Montana. He has no idea where the football is.
49-yard line, first and 10, a 24-yard pass play. 3-0 Saints. Flagler fumbles, and the Saints have recovered. Sam Mills made the recovery, and he's only 5'9", but has emerged as a leader of the linebacker corps here in New Orleans.
One of the guys that Jim Moore brought over from the USFL inside. 51 takes on the guard, knocks him off, comes inside. Really has no impact on the play other than it recovered the fumble. Here it is again, coming inside is Jackson, number 57, Ricky Jackson. He's actually the one that put his helmet on Flagler's ball and knocked it out.
So the Saints on their own 49 have a first and 10 on the first turnover of the ball game. Here's Reuben Mays cutting inside and vaulting. He gets into San Francisco territory, and the fine free safety Ronnie Lott makes the tackle. And of a gain of about 4 yards on the play. We talked about the Saints secondary being different. How about the 49ers? Carlton Williamson is on injured reserve. Jeff Fuller making the start, and he would have started anyway, we understand. And Ronnie Lott says, boy, I remember we had Williamson, Hicks, and Eric Wright, and now I have new people back there with me.
New guys, Mack and McKyer, corners, Griffin, these all second-year guys.
2nd and 7, once again, Reuben Mays, and he's hit hard by Fuller. And when Fuller hits you, you feel it.
One of the things that Hebert has to be alert for is anytime he sees Fuller up top, you can see Fuller sits right here. He sits inside, he'll come down inside, and there's no one there. He's like a linebacker sitting right up there. He's got to see that, recognize it, play action, come out and throw in behind him.
There he is at the top of your screen, and an easy play for Fuller. 3rd down and 5 at the 46-yard line. In the shotgun goes Hebert. Hebert quickly over the middle. Hobie Brenner, the intended receiver, and Torrey Nixon, the nickel back, knocked the ball away. And it'll be 4th down.
Torrey Nixon simply just sitting there. He's standing right in his area. You're going to see Hebert takes a couple of steps, sits up, a lot of time to throw the ball. There's his man wide open. But Torrey Nixon breaking on the football. Actually, Hobie Brenner should have come back to the quarterback and made the reception.
Brian Hansen, who's getting pressed for his job by a fellow named Tommy Barnhart, who is inactive for this game but could come back to haunt Hansen. And Brian is kicking it away and nearly has the kick blocked. Gets off a beautiful high kick inside the 10.
Oh.
It's down by the Saints inside the 5. Brett Maxey was the right man in the right spot. A 43-yard kick, and the 49ers are backed up inside the 5. We'll be back to the Superdome after this. Terry, listen.
Telestrator worked earlier, does not work now.
And listen, just so you know, anytime they do, they'll read you just finish your comments at all times unless we have to go to an update. Always finish whatever you were saying. They can read the lineups. Don't.
Okay.
I don't have to announce them.
All right.
I don't have to announce them. Yeah, they'll work on it. It'll get fine.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. I'm a little concerned about the lineups thrown up there. I didn't.
No. You know what, Nick? You always finish your comment under all circumstances. Yeah, I mean, you know what? He doesn't. They just come up and you forget about it.
All right. All right.
It's your job now.
Technically. Jack, dog it. You know, I just know. I don't know why I wasn't aware that's coming on. I would never started making my comment.
I didn't know it was coming on either.
I didn't either.
But you know what? All time. All time. The San Francisco 49ers will start inside their 5, and Hansen nearly had the kick blocked. It went 42 yards inside the 5, and now a chance for the Saints defense to go to work. Mike Wilson wide to the right. Jerry Rice split left. 1st and 10 at the 4-yard line. And Montana going for Jerry Rice. And a marker down, and the pass was short. And Van Jakes came back and interfered with Jerry Rice. A big break for the 49ers, and they'll get the ball up to the 41 now. Van
Jakes taking over for Johnny Poe as starting right corner. Had Rice covered like a blanket. Simply didn't.
Interference, number 22, defense, 1st down.
You know, the sad part about this is that there was no way in the world Rice was going to catch that football. He was too well covered. Montana throws the underthrow, which is an excellent pass because Rice is the only one, obviously, who knows where it is. As you can see, the left hand all over Rice by Van Jakes.
49ers have 3 first downs, 2 of them by virtue of a penalty. And Dwight Clark, who caught 9 passes last week in a big game, replaces Jerry Rice. And Roger Craig with the carry, gets a couple, and that's all. 6:50 remaining in the 1st quarter. 3-0 Saints. Other scores, Tony Elliott and Maxey combined to make the tackle. And a hurry-up offense run by Montana. And Montana going outside, and the receiver slipped, and a marker down. John Taylor, the wide receiver, fell down, and Dave Waymer was back there. And let's see who they call the penalty on. It is a holding call against the Saints, and another San Francisco 1st down.
Holding, number 44, defense, 1st down.
2 penalties on Waymer so far.
Rule says that you can make the jam. He's in the right of your screen at 5 yards. There's the jam at 5 yards. Now you must turn loose of him after 5 yards. There's the push in the back at 9 yards, and the ball's in the air. That's a good call.
3 penalties have been assessed against the Saints secondary, and Jim Mora doesn't look too pleased. As Jakes and Maxey are starting their first games, and they have already committed a penalty. Montana finds Russ Francis And the tight end gets into Saint territory to the 49-yard line before Antonio Gibson makes the stop and a gain of a couple.
You know, Francis is a guy that, as the 49ers are in a hurry-up offense now, Joe Montana 2 plays, lines him up, calling it again.
2nd and 7 at the 49. Craig looking for room and gets to the 46, a gain of 3. Pat Swilling and Sam Mills, the tackle, and another flag has gone down.
Well,
and now it looks like the Saints just feel they're all getting
the side judge threw a flag this time. Too many men on the field by the Saints. But the thing I'm disagreeing with, they're throwing this thing when the play is dead and these guys are starting back. If you see something wrong, throw the flag. Don't wait till the world's all, you know, everybody's got their dinner and they're sitting there enjoying it.
Penalty-filled first quarter.
Walsh is not happy about it.
Here's Dick Jorgensen getting ready to turn that microphone on.
12 men on the field. Defense. Still 2nd down.
You had that one right. You made a quick count there, didn't you?
No, it really wasn't that hard. One guy was busting his tail to get off the field, and Montana snapped the ball early.
That's the 5th penalty of the ball game, and it'll be 2nd and 2 for the 49ers on the 44 of New Orleans. Roger Craig goes wide to the left, and Montana complete, and a fumble, and the Saints have it. Mike Wilson had it and lost it, and let's see whether they call it a completed pass or not. Van Jakes made the hit, and now they're saying apparently Wilson did not have possession.
A simple little combination, the hook by Montana to his outside receiver, sets up, fires the football. You be the judge. Does he have it? Ball's inside. That's a completion. Both feet were on the ground. The ball, he tucked it away and then immediately dropped the football.
And they may be looking at the tape replay of that. They may be looking at a replay, so we'll check and see whether the people upstairs agree with what you just saw.
Well, as close as things are being called so far, Dick, you'd have to say that I would rule that as a completion. Let's just see. It's in slow motion. Both hands have the football. He pulls it inside, and now the ball is knocked away, and both feet are firmly planted. Now, you make the decision. You folks at home can see.
The ruling is as it was called on the field. Incomplete pass.
And keep in mind that it has to be a clear difference for the reversal to take place, and maybe it wasn't clear enough. In any event, it'll be 3rd down and 2. Craig and Rathman are the split backs. Play action, and Montana has wide open Ron Heller, the tight end. And it's knocked away by Brett Maxey. Ron Heller, who scored his first NFL touchdown last week. It was a game winner, a diving catch against the Cardinals, and he had beaten the defense.
Walsh likes Heller. He's the guy that they're working in to take Francis' spot. Gets him deep. He says he has 4.6 speed, has better speed than most guys they've had lately at that tight end position. Got him open. Joe Montana just simply missed him.
Max Rudiger in to kick for the first time, and Mel Gray goes back for the Saints. 5:38 remaining in the first quarter. New Orleans 3 and San Francisco nothing. Flag down again. And Gray will let this bounce on the 10, and it goes into the end zone, but a penalty upfield. A lot of stopping and starting and illegal procedure against the 49ers, and they're going to kick that one again.
You're going to back them up, actually. You take a choice here. Back him up or take it on the 20-yard line. You put him out of bounds. He kicks it out of bounds.
Illegal formation. Number 86 on the offense, an eligible receiver, played right tackle and did not report. Penalty is declined.
That's John Frank, the 3rd string tight end. They have declined the penalty, and the Saints will take it out on their 20 with a lead when we return to New Orleans.
Hey.
Yeah.
What did you think, David? You saw that. It looked like it was a complete...
It was not inconclusive, I think, is the problem.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Well, I mean, it wasn't one of those, you know, absolute jobs, but it...
All right. What are we going to do now coming up? We have any time? See something here?
Can't get anything going, so nothing.
No.
What means?
Yeah, there's an arrow here.
I got an arrow up here.
What do you do? Well, how do you change it?
Got one. Nice little cute
What
arrow.
it says, yeah.
Unbelievable. Huh?
I know. Good joke. Report. Story of our game, and it was Morton Anderson with a 39-yard field goal as the Saints have controlled the ball 7.5 minutes to only 2 minutes for San Francisco. And the man of the hour has been Ruben Mays, who's carried 8 of the 14 plays run by the Saints. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. Play action this time, and Hebert looking the other way. Penalty marker down. Fuller knocks it away, intended for Brenner. And another flag is down.
Well, you can see Jeff Fuller, 49, the way he's hollering and jumping around. There it is. They're going to call holding on Fuller.
Holding, number 49, defense, 5 yards, first down.
And the man he was holding was John Tice, the starting tight end. So an automatic first down for the Saints as Mel Gray comes into the ball game, and Tice comes out along with Barry Word.
Evidently, the receivers and the defensive backs especially are having the most problems today with that 5-yard shuck rule where they can't get their hands off these receivers.
At the 25-yard line. In motion goes Gray. And they give it to Ruben Mays, and Mays dives forward to the 30-yard line, 5 yards shy of a first down. Right now for an NFL Today report, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York. Brent? All right, Brent, thank you very much. And Ray Perkins has that team cooking, and they play pretty well even in the replacement game.
Well, Jim McMahon is back, so could be that Mike Ditka says, hey, enough of this. I need the
number
guy
42 from San Francisco has been suspended from the game for illegal equipment until fixed.
Well,
Ronnie Lott, well, I better fix it in a hurry. They need him.
Absolutely. What they're calling it is they have to wrap. They have to show that he has a band on. Notice how they're wrapping the tape around the sleeves.
Are they doing it on both sleeves?
Okay, now you can see the equipment underneath that's exposed. I mean, really, this is really pulling out deep to go to the rule. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. But evidently, his equipment hangs down below the jersey, and so they're going to tape the jersey tight where you can't see it, and now he's eligible. There, that looks great, doesn't it? He's got to stay out one play.
So Ronnie Lott, so remember those great defensive backs the 49ers had when they won the Super Bowl? Well, none of them in that right now. Tom Homo is in there for Lott on this play. 2nd and 5 for the Saints on the 30. Hebert dumps it off, and Mays makes a fine catch of a low pass and dives forward and appears to have a first down. Good play by Mays. Tina Turner and Tom Holmoe made the stop. And it is a first down for the Saints.
It's a screen. You always like to run screens when you've got a team that puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback with their ends. You let them go. You set up, make it look like a pass. Draw everyone inside. Then the quarterback, simply Hebert in this case, drops back, dumps it off. Fine catch that time by Mays. Then he gets the first down.
He's the centerpiece of the Saints offense, at least so far. And a first down on the 36-yard line. 4:23 remaining, first quarter. Still 3-0 New Orleans. Hebert in trouble, escapes damage, and Hebert picks up 9 yards with that scamper. Dwayne Ford and Jim Fawnhorse prevented the first down. Alert play by Hebert.
You take a quarterback in this league that has the ability to move. He has athletic skills that allow him to run. Hebert showed him then. Got the pressure, dug down underneath, saw where the first down marker was, and like so many of the quarterbacks, has that great ability, Dick, to get down there and get the big yardage.
Well, it was all right for you to run because they would bounce off of you, but I don't know about some of these other guys. 2nd and 1 at the 45, and Mays gets the first down and loses the ball, and it's picked up now by Ronnie Lott. And Lott down the sidelines, cuts toward the middle, and is stopped at the 15-yard line. So a very big play by the 49ers, Ronnie Lott, who picked up the loose ball and rambled to the 15, a return of 32. Carter and Ford make the hit here on Mays.
Well, they've run Mays so much, you've got to wonder whether or not Mays is getting a little fatigued. When an athlete gets fatigued, he makes mistakes. Jumping over the pile, simply loses the ball. It's knocked down. Now, fine job by Lott, just simply recovers the fumble. No one touches him, and he's off to the races.
Good thing he got that equipment fixed, huh?
Yeah.
Ronnie Lott, All-Pro as a free safety after being a cornerback. All-Pro for many years. Roger Craig on the first down fights his way inside the 10-yard line. Craig, of course, coming into the game as the leading rusher and receiver for the 49ers. Mills and Jakes made the stop as you look at the time. Craig is also the top receiving running back in the NFC right now. Ball at the 9. Craig on an inside handoff gets maybe a yard, and it's Vaughn Johnson. Well, the Saints are very high on Vaughn Johnson. And according to Steve Sidwell, the defensive coordinator, they think he'll be one of the top linebackers in the league.
Well, a lot of people have compared him to Andre Tippett, although he's on the inside. Johnson and Pat Swilling, 50C, his partner on the right side, playing together. The Saints coaches feel like they have two real legitimate All-Pro linebackers there. They're real solid, real pleased with that side of their defensive linebackers.
They are. 3rd and 4, and the crowd turning it up a notch, hoping their defense can do a job, and Jerry Rice makes the catch for the touchdown. Van Jakes was defending, and Rice gets the touchdown against the Saints. He didn't get one last year against New Orleans. He scored one against just about everyone else, and Rice gives the Niners the lead.
From the bottom, you can see inside and outside, 85 coming inside Wilson, then isolating Rice on the outside with Van Jakes, 22. It's a mismatch. Touchdown.
4th touchdown reception by Rice. And Wershing will now try to add the 7th point with Montana holding. And he does. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remain in the first quarter, and the turnover, the fumble, hurts the Saints. Montana to Rice gives the 49ers the lead.
Chris, Carl.
You going to show it after the first play?
No, they don't have that.
After the kick.
Chris, Carl. That might be a chalkboard.
Is it working?
Not this one. They don't have it. Don't have it.
After the return.
Do you have it? The same thing I saw a while ago? Okay.
Word and grid.
Okay, I can see Wilson coming underneath, so I'll point that out. May use my telestrator.
49ers lead now 7-3. And a short scoring drive thanks to the fumble and the 32-yard return by Ronnie Lott, and only 3 plays needed for Montana to hit Rice. And Ray Wersching getting set to kick off, and Mel Gray and Barry Word are back for the Saints. And this is headed for Gray, 6 yards in the end zone. He'll down it there, and the Saints will bring it out to the 20.
Touchdown pass to Rice was a simple little out move by Rice and an in move by Wilson that picked off Van Jakes, 22. Nothing fancy on the inside, but you'll see coming in your screen, Mike Wilson, 85, as he picks his man off and allows Rice to get past Van Jakes for the touchdown reception. Pretty simple, nothing fancy, just one in, one out, bingo, there you are.
So first down now, and the crowd quieted down, enthusiastic early. Now nearly silent, hoping the Saints can generate some action here. Word goes in motion, 1st and 10 at the 20, and there is Mays. And Mays finds a hole off the tackle and gets a first down beyond the 30-yard line. Stopped by Michael Walter and Jeff Fuller, a gain of 13. And right now for an NFL Today report, let's check in once again with Brent Musburger. Brent? Shocker indeed, Brent. And Terry and I worked that first game in Chicago, and it was no contest for the Bears in that one. Meanwhile, the Saints with a first down on the 33, and carrying this time is Word. He fumbles, and the Saints still have it. Barry Word fumbled it, and the center, Joel Hilgenberg, picked it up, and it's still New Orleans ball.
Well, Word's a young man they want to get in there in place of Buford Jordan, who had been starting for him. The thing they like about him is he's an equally good blocker, but he's a more explosive runner. Well, he may be that. One of the things he'll have to do, or one of the things he's going to have to learn, if he's going to stay in the starting lineup, he's got to protect the football.
Jeff Fuller made the hit. Word, by the way, was a 3rd-round pick out of Virginia last year and did not play. He was on injured reserve. 2nd down and 11. They lost a yard. And Hebert is going deep this time for Martin, and just past Eric Martin, who had extended himself to the fullest, and Don Griffin was defending on the play for the Niners.
It was a fine throw this time by Hebert. 29, you can see is Don Griffin. He just simply turns, and what he will do is read the receiver's eyes and try to stay on his hip. Once he notices his head goes back, he turns back to pick up the football. Fine throw.
In talking to Bill Walsh yesterday, he said if you want to compare the two, and there's not much comparison, McKyer is more a big play cornerback, Griffin the steadier.
Yeah, he's a guy that you can depend on. McKyer's the guy that gives you the interceptions. Last year he had 6 of them.
3rd and 11 at the 31. Pressure on Hebert. Penalty marker down, and Hebert's pass is overthrown. And we may have a holding call back there. It was intended for Herbert Harris, and Tom Holmoe was defending on the play, and the 49ers came storming in.
You can look, you're seeing Jim.
Holding, number 72, offense, decline.
Jim Dombrowski, number 1 pick last year out of Virginia, broke a foot against these 49ers and making his first start today of this season. So it's 4th down, and Brian Hansen kicking. Dana McLemore back for the 49ers. Not a long kick, but a high one. Off to the side, and it takes a Saints roll, and McLemore, trapped in the corner, is down at the 31-yard line by Alvin Toll, the 47-yard kick. Well, next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern Time, CBS Sports presents more exciting college football action. The undefeated Syracuse Orangemen against the Pitt Panthers, who are 5-2. And the question is, can Syracuse go unbeaten? That's their big test.
Oh, they're playing them at Pittsburgh, too. They're hard to beat there. I remember when Majors came into Pitt and got Dorsett and went to beating everyone. And the Steeler team, where's my head? These Panthers are hard to beat at home.
First and 10 at the 31. They sure are. And Roger Craig on first down gets a couple. Jim Wilkes making the stop. Syracuse's big win was against Penn State, and yesterday Pittsburgh beat Navy. Craig Hayward has gone over 100 yards 7 straight games for the Panthers.
260 or 70 pounds of whatever. Can you imagine a fullback being that large? Cincinnati may like this guy.
That's right. The gun. That's the end of the first quarter.
How's this going? It's going all right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little rough. You got to remember. Normally ruin the broadcast.
That's a fumble.
Yard line. Montana almost dumped it off, thought better of it, and overthrows Terrence Flagler. On the other side, Ricky Jackson covering on that play. That was kind of a weird change of plans by Montana.
One of the things the Saints wanted to accomplish in this game defensively is they wanted to force Montana to check off, to pull the ball down from going deep and go out in the flat with the football. They did a good job that time. Then Montana recognizes that his guys are all covered, pulls it up, moves out, and then throws it out of bounds. Smart play by Joe Montana.
3rd and 7 at the 34. Montana with the short drop, and he overthrows Mike Wilson, the wide receiver, and it's 4th down. Gibson was covering. They have controlled the ball in brilliant fashion as Mel Gray goes back to receive the punt. They had the ball for over 11 minutes in that first quarter, and Max Runniger will kick for the 2nd time. Saints have never finished above 500 in their history. Tremendous kick by Runniger sends Gray back to the 17. And he can't get to the 25-yard line. George Cooper is there to make the tackle. A 48-yard kick, so Bobby Hebert, getting his instructions, will get set to lead the Saints on offense again when we come back.
Yeah, Roberts is good. Carter. Let me tell you something now. One of the things be alert for down there, David, Charles Haley, number 94, is playing a lot in this football game.
Yes.
He's a linebacker coming in as a defensive end on the right side, and so that'll be something we want to get to, all right?
Yes, right. I'm going to talk about Roberts.
Set this up.
Each team has fumbled the ball once. There have been 2 pass interference calls, 1 on each team. Most of the penalties against the Saints, who now have it 1st and 10 on the 24. Martin to the right. And Lonzel Hill split to the left for the Saints. Hebert going up on top to Hill, who makes the catch for the 1st down at the 41. Griffin on the stop. A 17-yard pickup. And I guess if there's anyone the Saints like outside, it may be Lonzel Hill.
Well, Lonzel Hill is the one man that they plan on getting the ball to. He's their deep threat, the guy that can make something happen of all their receivers. Hebert does a fine job of standing in there, turns around, and all Lonzel Hill does is simply go down, run out to the sideline, and he's wide open. Nothing fancy there.
Gain of 17. On the 41, 1st and 10. Dalton Hilliard is the running back now. And this time, Hebert going for Hill on the other side, but overthrows him out of bounds, covered by Tim McKyer. Mel Gray actually downfield, not Hill. I don't think Hill would make those long runs on 2 straight plays.
You're going to see on the left of your screen, Lonzel down. This is great. Down outside, pushes off. McKyer gives him a little left shot, pushes him back to the inside. He goes back to the outside.
Well, if there's one asset that Hebert has, he has the ability to throw deep with touch, according to Jim Moore.
Cajun Rifle.
That's right.
He's got one of those names, Cajun Rifle. If you have a nickname, you know you're something special.
You got to live up to it, too.
That's right.
2nd and 10 now. Mays back in the game, and he carries. Rolls his way forward to the 46-yard line, pick up a 5. So it'll be 3rd down and about 5 now. Larry Roberts and Dwayne Board make the stop. Larry Roberts making his 1st NFL start against the Saints last year, making his 3rd NFL start today. And Fagan out, how to start up front. 3rd down and 5 at the 46. High snap. Hebert up the middle, and a great catch by Gray, but he seems to be shy of a 1st down yardage. Mel Gray was hit hard by Keena Turner at midfield, but the Saints are short by about a yard.
One of the things we'd said earlier where they were going to bring Gray out of the backfield. He's actually a wide receiver. That time they went into what they call their flush formation, counting Gray as a fourth wide receiver with one back remaining. That gives you 5 people eligible to catch a pass. He simply went up inside, turned around, and caught the football.
Dana McLemore, who played 3 games with the Saints last year after being with San Francisco, now back with the Niners to receive Hanson's kick. And the kick goes over the head, and it is down by the Saints inside the 5 for the second time in the game. That time it was Reggie Sutton who recovered the ball, kept it in bounds.
Smart play by Sutton. As you can see, he catches up with the punt. The punt hits flat and is rolling toward the goal line. Sutton, 29, catches it, says, oh, I'm going into the end zone, turns around and throws it back.
Big play by Sutton, and they have high hopes for him.
That was Colbrand he threw it back to.
Yeah. Is it? Oh. That doesn't come like golf, does it?
I've got a disc that puts out about that far.
But I mean, wouldn't the bending over it, it doesn't affect it?
Actually, bending over stretches it and makes it feel better. It must be sway back or something. Pulled in. Right there. I've got a point here on it. I've got a quarterback point here.
Okay.
Okay.
Before the first play or after?
Well, after the first play.
Okay.
I just want to talk about the feeling of being back here in the end zone. What's it like?
Well, if we have time going in, I may do it to you. If we have time, okay? If not, it'll be the second play.
That's fine. Which would probably be better.
The second time in the game, the 49ers will start from their own 4-yard line. Last time they got out of danger with a pass interference call against the Saints, good for 38 yards. We'll see what happens here. 12:51 to go in the first half. Audible called by Montana here. And Montana going deep. And Jerry Rice is double covered.
One of the times now you see a receiver, Rice, falls down, but what happened was the defensive back turned around to look at the football. He runs up Rice's legs, knocks him down, no penalty.
What is it like for a quarterback to have to bring you out from deep in your own end?
It's very difficult. It's one of the scarier positions. Number one, not only do you have to concentrate if it's a pass on the coverage and blitzes, but you have to also be aware of safeties and stepping out of bounds as you drop back to throw.
Second down and 10. And the pass to Mike Wilson, and Wilson makes a tough catch beyond the 15. Van Jakes on the stop and a first down. He's a big guy, Mike Wilson, 220 pounds, and he had his career longest catch, 52 yards against these Saints 2 years ago.
Hardest pass for a receiver to catch is the slant pattern, where he has to come inside and go in and face all the players that are sitting there waiting on him. Coming out of the end zone like this, Montana knows they're playing zones, and he's getting the football to his receivers in those little seams.
Tom Rathman now in the backfield. And Flagler, with blockers in front, dives out of bounds. So Wilson caught a 12-yard pass, and then Flagler carries. And right now, for an NFL Today report, here's Brent again. Brent? All right, Brent, so the Bears start their comeback. We'll see how far it takes them. 2nd and 5 for the Niners on their 21. And Montana going up on top for Roger Craig. And he had beaten Ricky Jackson downfield.
You can read Montana. He wanted Craig to adjust to the football. Montana threw a perfect pass, and all Craig had to do was take one step to the right, and he would have made the reception. It appears that Craig lost the ball in the lights, and I mean, we're inside here, so it's kind of nice.
Jerry Rice told me yesterday, he said, and he dropped a big pass last year for a touchdown against the Saints. He says, I have trouble looking up in the lights. I have problems there, and maybe Craig had similar difficulties. Montana has completed only 2 of his last 8, one of them, though, for a touchdown. 3rd and 5. Montana completes it to Wilson, who has the first down, and he ought to buy him a dinner. Mike Wilson with another 12-yard reception. Van Jakes on the stop, and he's taken the Niners out of deep trouble.
Made a key catch while ago on the quick slant. Now this is the reverse route that he ran while ago, in which Rice made the touchdown reception. Rice goes inside, Wilson goes outside. Joe Montana threw the ball actually behind Wilson, made a fine adjustment. He can't not only catch a football, but give the 49ers a first down.
Spent a lot of years on the sidelines as a backup, and now has his day to shine. 1st and 10, Niners on the 33. Pressure on Montana, and Russ Francis incomplete, and a marker goes down as Antonio Gibson was right on his back all the way, and I think Russ knew it. He let the ball bounce off, it seemed, and Chick Jorgensen will describe it.
Interference, number 27, defense, first down.
It appears that Antonio Gibson, 27, had his hands on the right arm of Russ Francis, and he can't get his arm up to make the catch. Look at this. He couldn't get his arms up or his hands up to make the reception.
So the 4th penalty on the Saints secondary, which is vastly revamped in this game. Roger Craig with a good charge off the left side, picks up 9 yards on that jaunt and near midfield before Brett Maxey makes the tackle. Craig playing a lot of the tailback position in this game, and he says he prefers it. It reminds him of his college days at Nebraska when he could read the defenses, and normally he doesn't do that with what the Niners do.
Well, what the Niners do is try to have one back responsible for carrying the football, and everything is set off of motion and play action and little 5- and 6-yard passes, and getting in the eye disrupts the entire method of what the 49ers want to accomplish.
2nd and 1, and Craig reads the defense and gets the first down into Saint territory at the 47. Tony Elliott and Frank Warren in on the play.
You know, Bill Walsh told us coming into this game, when we asked him what really was the key for him to beat the Saints, and he said, we have to run a little this and a little of that, mix up our running. We have to pass a little, mix it up more so than we've ever done before, because the Saints all of a sudden have become a threat to us, and we have to confuse them even more so than we have in the past.
That's the first down rushing, first down rushing by the 49ers. Montana has plays etched on his wrist. The cribbing is okay, and the pass intended for Wilson. Another flag goes down, and it's Van Jakes who's defending, and the secondary of the New Orleans Saints has just committed the 5th penalty of this game.
Number 22, defense, first down.
Well, you make the decision. Did he get to him, to the receiver before the ball? There's the hand over the shoulder. The ball has not arrived past defense. That's interference. Look at it again. Nice clear cut. Now you're going to see Wilson, 85, just comes down, goes to the outside. Van Jakes, 22, runs through the receiver prior to the ball getting there, and that is pass interference.
A 7-yard penalty as you look at the overall penalty story, but a first down for the 49ers on the Saints 39. Montana looks one way, goes the other, and wide open there is the tight end, Ron Heller, and he's in for the score. A 39-yard play, and Dave Waymer might have gambled for the pickoff, and Heller with his 2nd touchdown reception in as many games, and the Niners lead it now 13-3.
You're going to see Heller in the top right of your screen. It'll go out. It goes down the sideline and up the field. Montana looks to his left and punts. turns around and finds Heller, lays the ball up. Now, Heller is open, but look how closely covered he is by 44 Waymer. Waymer reaches up to knock the ball down, misses it, and then Heller makes the catch and goes in for the TD.
He may be heir apparent to that tight end position. Russ Francis on the downside, and Ray Wershing adds the 14th point. So this game for first place, and Bill Walsh had said, we look at New Orleans as our main competition in the division, and so far the 49ers have responded. Got something going here, and I think San Francisco's in front. Boy, that secondary is really overzealous out there. Huh? How do you figure that? Good. Okay. Yes, sir. All five. Yeah, whatever. But yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Do a little reset in the game summary after the first play, so you can catch a breath. Reset coming out, right? Is that right, David? .942 remaining in the second quarter here at the Superdome in New Orleans, and the 49ers with 2 touchdowns to answer an opening field goal, and that's the last one. 39-yard pass to Ron Heller, and Ray Wershing kicking off for San Francisco. Mel Gray at the 5 for the Saints. Gray down at the 27-yard line, and the Saints go to work again. Morton Anderson put the Saints in front, and then it's been all Montana and company. 2 touchdown passes, one to Jerry Rice, the other a moment ago to Ron Heller. 8 penalties called against the Saints, 5 of them to their secondary that has been vastly revamped. A bit overzealous are the Saints defensive back so far.
Well, Jim Moore gave his speech last night, so maybe that little pep talk he gave them has had an adverse effect on his players. Is that actually they seem to be trying too hard. When you try too hard, you make a lot of errors.
That can happen. 1st and 10, Saints on the 27. Gray is a wide receiver here, and Mays the running back, and Hebert's pass is batted and intercepted by Milt McCall of the 49ers, and another turnover. Second of the game, and McCall, who will begin internship at Stanford in the spring.
It's a quick set pass by the quarterback. 1, 2, 3, sets up, tries to throw a little hitch. The key, though, is the linemen have to knock the legs out from under McCall. This is not Hebert's fault. It's going to look that way. It's going to go down as an interception, but his responsibility, that defense, number 82, John Tice, had to cut the legs out of McCall to get his hands down. He didn't do the job. Consequently, an interception. And
the 49ers have it 1st and 10 on the Saint 28, and the crowd really getting on Bobby Hebert here. Montana with a design rollout being chased by Clark, and a marker down as his throw is out of bounds, and another penalty flag down. Crowd is on Hebert, and they remember what John Forcade did in the replacement games. He won their hearts.
Illegal touch by an ineligible receiver, number 81 offense, went out of bounds, came back in touch, penalty is lost of down. 2nd down.
Talking about Russ Francis, and you heard the loss of down there.
Evidently, he ran out of bounds, came back inbounds. You can't do that. Tried to make the catch. There's the flag. Loss is down. the fans are wrong by getting on the A-Bears. I just explained a while ago. Tice's responsibility is cut down the receiver or the defensive linebacker, cut his hands down and open up a lane for the quarterback.
A lot of banners out here calling for Forcade. Of course, that's nothing new in New Orleans. They always like the guy who's not playing. 2nd and 10 at the 28. And here's Craig cutting inside and loses the ball. And Van Jakes has it. Jakes in the 49er territory. And that'll bring the cheers back. Roger Craig made the tackle. And Jakes is knocked out of bounds at the 37, but it was Sam Mills who made the hit on Roger.
One of the runs that the 49ers wanted was a cross action. Montana turns around, hands back to Craig. Now let's see what happens. Cutting inside, Johnson makes the initial hit, but 51, Sam Mills comes across, knocks the ball loose. There it is again, Van Jakes, 22, picking it up and scooting down to the 38-yard line. Thank you, Sam Mills.
30-yard return by Jakes, and the Saints are in 49er territory at the 37. First down, Mays, and a reverse to Mel Gray. And didn't get as much as they would have liked as Keena Turner stayed home in that situation and knocked Gray down. And there is Van Jakes, who made a big play there, second-year free agent from Kent State in Ohio, who has played the nickel and dime situation, and Gray slowly getting up after that strong hit there by Keena Turner, who's known for that.
One of the things you do in reverses is you set up that same play earlier in the game. If you notice that people are chasing that play, then you set up the reverse. That time they came back with the reverse, and no one made a block. They had 3 people out there, no one made a block for Gray.
You hear the crowd maybe yelling, "Forcade, Forcade." And that's got to put a lot of pressure on Bobby Hebert.
Well, Jim Moore told us Hebert will start this football game. Forcade played well in the replacement games, and if you compare the two physically, Forcade's about the same size. He's a little bit heavier, a little bit stronger, has a much stronger arm, and when Mark talks about him, he talks about him in glowing reports. In other words, this kid can do this kid can do that. He's got great poise, so who knows, maybe Forcade will be in there.
Great high school hero here in the New Orleans area. 2nd down and 8 at the 35. Fuller coming up to the line, showing blitz, doesn't come, and Mays on the delay gets inside the 35 before Walter and Carter make the tackle.
Talking about the quarterbacks and having certainly been a quarterback for many years, I understand what Hebert feels, but Forcade is a Cajun descent. Bobby Hebert is of Cajun descent. Only 2 quarterbacks in the National Football League of Cajun descent. And I find it hard to find that the Cajun folks would pull against one another like that. But hey, it's quarterback position, so all that goes out the window.
It's football. 3rd and 6. Hebert in the shotgun now. Penalty marker down, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Lonzel Hill, and covering was McKyer, and the flag was down. It's against the Saints, and a decision for Bill Walsh here because Morton Anderson can kick him long. Let's see what happens.
Illegal formation. Number 72 was not outflanked by an eligible receiver on the end of the line of scrimmage. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Jim Dombrowski, the guilty party. This would be a 50-yard kick from here, and that's what Anderson is going to attempt as he comes into the ball game.
Does put you in kind of an awkward position when you have to make a decision on whether or not you want to force the team, back them up and force them to throw again, and realize when you pick up the 5 yards or stay where you are, 4th down, this guy can kick them from here.
He can. He hasn't missed yet this season. He is 3 for 3, including a 39-yarder to give the Saints an early lead. This is officially a 51-yard attempt with Hanson holding. It looks short, and it is. The kick is no good. So the opportunity by the Saints, they had the ball on the 37 of San Francisco, and they came up short again. And with 7:38 remaining in the first half, it is still the 49ers leading the Saints 14-3. Taking a look next week at the NFL, as we really get in gear now that the regulars are back. The NFL today begins at all at 12:30 Eastern time, and many of you fans will see the New Orleans Saints against the Atlanta Falcons in an NFC West battle. As second half of our doubleheader, some of you will see the 49ers and Rams in another traditional go, or Minnesota and Seattle. Check your local listing. Niners ball, 1st and 10 on their own 33. Play action and a good fake to Craig, who's wide open and drops the ball. He was there.
Well, this was a great job by Joe Montana. I mean, a real magician coming out nice and under control there. You see Cross pulling, little fake to Craig, looks to the right. Everyone's totally fooled. Craig's out here all by himself, and a fine throw by Montana. Craig looking downfield, simply just took his eyes off the football, but gosh, what a good job by Montana. Looking right, fake left, turn around, boom.
Craig is struggling so far in this one. 2nd down and 10. This time he gets the carry, and he cuts off tackle to the 40-yard line, and a gain of 7 right there. So it'll be 3rd and short for the 49ers, making the stop Pat Swilling and Vaughn Johnson, the 2 linebackers we were talking about. And notice Bears coming back now after trailing 20-0. Right here we have 7 minutes 10 seconds to go in the first half. 49ers leading 14-3. They've won 4 in a row, most consecutive wins since they finished with 12 straight, including a Super Bowl 3 years ago. Montana with time. Jump pass complete to Craig, and Craig has the 1st down and gets into midfield area. First catch of the game by Craig, and Antonio Gibson made the stop, and a 1st down just in Saint territory.
You would like to be a quarterback and run the 49er offense. I talked to Joe yesterday, said just how difficult is it to run this offense, and he said the real problem is not running it but calling the formations to run it. He said we must have 90 formations for the game, and I literally studied formations and not plays.
Another play action, 1st down pass, and a catch by John Taylor, and that's good for another 1st down at the 36, a gain of 13.
Well, now you must be concerned. The defensive backs for the Saints have got to say, look, we're playing so tight on these receivers and we're getting all these penalties, so now let's back off and give them a little room and then drive on them. Well, now they do that, and look what happens. Close, but not close enough. John Taylor makes a fine catch.
Taylor was impressive in preseason last year and then was on injured reserve all of last season. Just has no experience, but a deep threat. 1st and 10 at the 36 of the Saints. Montana getting out of trouble momentarily, and down he goes back at the 39, a loss of 3, and it was Pat Swilling who came storming in. Swilling, number 56, plays the same way Haley does for the 49ers. He is a linebacker and sometimes a down lineman on passing situations.
Swilling coming in from the outside, 56, will put the pressure on Montana and force him up inside. There he is. Now he forces Joe up inside. Now you're going to see number 94 coming in from the outside and put the finishing touches on. Good job.
2nd and 13. That's the 1st sack of the ball game. Montana completes it to Craig, who makes a fine catch and is out of bounds, close to 1st down yardage. Vaughn Johnson making the play, and it looks as if the 49ers offense is in sync, especially Montana and Craig right now.
Well, the point we made at the beginning of the game is that Montana's been playing, whether it's replacement game or Sandlot game, he's been playing. Now all of a sudden the Saints decide we're going to blitz. Montana hasn't seen a blitz, so we'll blitz. Now they blitz, and Montana does a fine job of reading the blitz and getting the ball out to Craig, who gets the 1st down.
They're going to measure to see whether the Niners got the 1st down. the first down. Was it different for you when you played?
I told him, I said, if we had 9 formations, full right, split, full left, half right, offset, flood, full, open, that's about it. And he said the problem is, hey, it's just the formations. And he says, I have to call the formations. They send the plays in, but I have to put the formations with them.
Montana leading passer in the NFC coming into the game, nearly 68.5% completion, best in the NFL. And he's at 50% in this game, 9 of 18 for 135 yards and 2 scores. 1st and 10 at the 26 of the Saints. And here's Flagler, the rookie. And riding him out of bounds, Van Jakes. Flagler getting an opportunity. Got good hands out of Clemson. He was the 6th running back drafted last year, and with Joe Cribbs out with a sore knee, Flagler getting his chance this afternoon.
He's the one player that Bill Walsh said reminds us the most of Wendell Tyler. He's the one kid on our squad that has the ability not only to run straight ahead, but put that little move, you know, juke, juke, right, left, away he goes.
If he can play like Wendell Tyler did, he'll be a bonus. 2nd and 9 at the 25. Montana has Rice, and Rice lunges forward for first down yardage at the 11. Antonio Gibson on the stop. Methodically, the 49ers threatening to score their 3rd touchdown here.
Well, Rice lining up on the right side. Now, Raymer, 44, has been called for 2 pass interference penalties. Notice how now all of a sudden Raymer is still going deep. And Rice reads Raymer, breaks it off, makes the catch. Well, it's amazing when they start calling those penalties on you, you back off.
That's the 10th first down this quarter for the 49ers, who have a first down on the 15 of the Saints. Out of the backfield, Craig gets away and loses his footing inside the 15-yard line. Gibson put him down, and if he hadn't, Craig would have had pay dirt. Under 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Saints scored first on a field goal by Morton Anderson, but then Montana went to work. We've had a lot of penalties and several turnovers, and now Montana in gear has hit 5 in a row after experiencing a passing drought for a while. 2nd and 9. And a handoff to Roger Craig, who runs into the official and gets inside the 5-yard line, close to the first down. It was Swilling and Maxey on the stop, and a familiar play outside handoff to Roger Craig.
They'll invert fullback draw where the quarterback will clear the running back. Notice Montana goes back to run, pass beyond the running back, turns around and gives to him forward, and then Craig takes off upfield running to the lineman, and then finally is taken down on the 5-yard line. It's really not funny. We scored a touchdown in Super Bowl 13 with Franco Harris from 22 yards because of the lineman. The referee was standing right there, and the guys couldn't go through him and make the tackle.
1st and goal at the 5. And there's Flagler, and Flagler running into Jerry Rice as he gets put down for no gain at the 5 by Van Jakes. Clock running, getting close to the 2-minute warning. We have not had any timeouts called by either side here in this first half.
We've seen Montana throw a touchdown pass to Rice on an inside-outside move. We've seen him run the last time twice and not make it in the first quarter. Look for him to come out now with another pick, a little option with one receiver going in, one going out, and Montana reading it.
They're going to wait for the 2-minute warning, and Montana has already trotted over to the sideline. So the 49ers looking to move ahead big here when we come back.
Hi, guys.
What do you want us down here?
What's up, David?
Huh?
Okay, look, listen to me, Kim. If it's 2 wide receivers to one side of the field, go to the wide receivers. If it's two tight ends, if they go tight with their formation, okay, fine. If they spread them out, though, let's try to see if they throw it. Watch him drag. Watch him drag. Watch him drag him across the field for a touchdown.
They've done that too.
Oh yeah.
They've done that too.
Let me make sure. Are we off?
Get some stats here. Yardage. Great, great, great. Okay.
Too tight, play action.
'49ers with a 2-minute warning. Each team with 3 timeouts remaining. It'll be 2nd down and 5 at the 5. And when you're Montana and you have all of those resources, you can do almost anything.
Really? If you got 2 tight ends, you play action and cross the tight ends and put a back in the flat. You go wide receivers, put one in motion, then you pick. So it drives the secondary crazy.
Steve Young is in the ball game at quarterback.
Now you have the option threat of getting outside, option run pass.
Steve Young, acquired from Tampa Bay, is in a surprising move right here. And Young throws the ball away, incomplete, no flag down, and the rush put on by Swilling.
Quarterback sack right here.
They call the sack back at the 17-yard line, and it's Pat Swilling, 56.
56 coming from the outside. Smart play by Swilling. The play action by Young did not fool Swilling, whose responsibility is do not allow anyone to get outside of you. That time he had containment on the quarterback.
9-yard loss. Is Bill Walsh too cute with that kind of move right there?
It shows that he was, because he wanted to get the option of Young outside to run or pass and hopefully run it in.
But they say now that it was a helmet problem. Of course, they could have also called a timeout. Montana back in there, and his pass is incomplete, intended for Roger Craig, and it'll be 4th down. So Montana, because of the helmet problem, couldn't play 1 down, and it might have cost the Niners a touchdown. We don't know for sure, but Wershing is in.
And that's the reason that Young came out with a play action, because what Walsh wanted to do was allow Young to get outside with a great speed and have an option of either running or passing.
Ray Wershing, veteran, is also perfect this year. 3 for 3 from the field goal area, and 5 for 5 in conversions, his longest from 43 yards. 32-yard attempt here. And Wershing's kick is good with 1:28 on the clock. It is now a 17-3 game. 17-3 after the Saints scored the first point.
Ball competitively in 5 weeks, which leads to, well, Forcade may be the guy to go to. He's the guy that has been playing, and in the second half, that would be something I think Jim Mora and his staff would have to consider, is bring him in and let him play.
The crowd would like it, but you can't let the crowd dictate what you do. But Hebert certainly hasn't set the world on fire. Wershing's kick, and it's Gray at the 1. And he slices his way to the 23-yard line. Tom Rathman on the stop. So Hebert returns for the Saints. He has completed 4 of 11 for only 50 yards and has thrown 1 interception.
I remember after the 82 strike, we opened up in the Astrodome down in Houston, and it was very hard for me as a quarterback, having not played in 57 days, to get comfortable and get relaxed where I could see things clearly and make positive decisions. It could be today that's what Hebert is experiencing.
1:22 remaining in the first half. 1st and 10 on the 23. Ruben Mays finds a hole, and Ruben Mays with big yardage, still going and knocked out of bounds by Fuller on the San Francisco 40. A gain of 38 yards by Ruben Mays, and a great block in there as well.
Well, they're in the hurry-up offense, 2-minute offense by the Saints. Hebert had second play called in the huddle.
Under a minute to go. They still have 3 timeouts remaining. Hebert up the middle, and unable to hold on to it is Herbert Harris. Incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down, and defense by Keena Turner.
And now you can go back in with 46 seconds remaining, call 2 plays, plenty of time. Hebert gets the signals from the sideline. The Mays run a while ago was set up extremely well by the left guard, Comiskey, 66, and Dombrowski, 72. They both go outside, hook their man, and then Mays simply cut back inside and turned on the speed.
Big play by Mays, who gained 147 yards in the season opener against the Browns, and then was shut down by the Eagles. 2nd and 10 at the San Francisco 39. Hebert in a crowd as Hobie Brenner, and the tight end is shy of a 1st down by about 1.5 yards. Jeff Fuller on the tackle. And now the Saints are going to call their first timeout of this half with 38 seconds to go. We'll be back. Jim Mora. There's the timeout story as the Saints with another opportunity here on the 49ers 32-yard line. They still have 2 timeouts remaining. It'll be 3rd down and 3, and the Saints converted their first 2 third downs, and since then are 0 for 5.
Look at the eyes. You can tell what he's thinking by the eyes. Is there indecision? Is there confidence? It's all in those eyes.
Ray in motion. Handoff inside to Dalton Hilliard, looking for room, and Hilliard is stopped for no gain.
Bad call. Why you want to do that? Why would you call a play like that with 29 seconds left and counting?
Jeff Stover made the tackle along with Dwayne Board. They still have 2 timeouts remaining, but they're going to run the play, and they now go back to the huddle, and there's confusion on the field now.
2 timeouts remaining. What are you doing? You have to call a timeout. Look at Moore over there telling us, what are you...
They call the timeout now with 7 seconds to go.
Second timeout.
So now the crowd raining boos down on the field, and you can't blame them. First on the call maybe, but certainly on the fact that they let some 12 or 15 seconds go by at least without calling a timeout.
Well, they flipped the sign for 4th down. The fact is, if you're going to try to win a football game, you don't do it with a play that's virtually no good against a wide end trying to get a guy out there. Throw the football down the field. Have 2 plays called. If you're going to set up and settle for a field goal here, fine. You know, you might end up having field goals all day, but you're going to end up getting beat.
Hansen will hold. This will be a 49-yard attempt. Anderson is 1 for 2 today. And now the official coming over, and Ronnie Lott, who is the captain for the 49ers. Check what the clock story is here. 7 seconds. Now the 30-second clock is underway. '49ers trying to harass Anderson, who makes good on a 49-yarder. And with 2 seconds to go, at least the Saints come away with something, and it's a 17-6 ball game. Strange series of developments right there in the final seconds.
You feel like a team that needs to get something going.
Anderson's kick deep into the end zone, fielded there by Rodgers, and with 2 seconds to go, the 49ers have enough.
Want to take a chance here. Be interesting to see what happens in the second half, Dick, whether or not Jim Moore decides to stay with Hebert, whether or not he wants to bring Fourcade out and hopefully get some life into it. So far, it's been pretty much a dead offense, with the exception, of course, of Mays.
And now they're going to use up the clock, and that does it. The end of the first half here in New Orleans. The score, the 49ers leading the Saints 17-6.
The thing they've lost is that emotion. You know, even as a professional, Dick, you have to play with a lot of emotion, and that's the key. That's why I wanted a while ago, I talked about Hebert's eyes. Look at his eyes. You can tell where his concentration is, and it doesn't look like it's on this football game.
Well, the Saints look rocky right now, but generally they have really come on, and Jim Moore in just his second year, and he knows what it's like to win 2 titles in the USFL with the Stars. And he is a disciplinarian and a hard worker, and no matter what happens here, the Saints appear to be on the upswing nonetheless.
Not only is he a fine coach, but I think the words you used early in the telecast when you said he had a talk with them last night, because it upset him that players that were friends and rode together to work no longer were doing that. So it tells you what he's like as a man as well as a football coach.
Cares about people, does Jim Mora, who decided this week to shake up the secondary, and most of those penalties have come from the secondary. Familiar names like Frank Watlett, not active for this game. He started every game at safety for 5 straight years. Johnny Poe, who started every game for 5 years in a row, also set down to the backup. So the Saints are still undergoing those changes that bring you from mediocrity into the higher echelons of the league.
The holdup here has been kind of indicative of the way the referees have been today. They've been late with some of their flags, and the reason we're late here is because the refs and all the boys just got out here. So, you know, they've had a little hard time. Maybe their arms are tired from flinging the flags.
In any event, Morton Anderson getting set to kick off. Harry Sidney and Del Rogers are back for the 49ers. A line drive kick, and it goes past Rogers and Sidney out of the end zone, a touchback. Anderson is accounted for the 6 New Orleans points. But it'll be Joe Montana leading the way.
Rather sloppy first half penalties. You got to figure that these guys haven't played in a while, and you got to expect it. I never really gave a whole lot of thought to penalties. For some reason, it never entered my mind that we would see a lot of penalties. I expect maybe some pulled muscles, some cramps, and some fatigue, but for the most part, it's just been the penalties are the thing that has stood out.
On the 21st and 10, Russ Francis goes in motion, and a handoff to Roger Craig, trying to go outside, and Craig is hit there by number 27, Antonio Gibson. Craig in the first half gained 40 yards on 9 carries and caught 3 passes, so he got off to a slow start and then came on strong.
Well, he's the guy they want to involve. He's the man that they run with the football. He's the man they get the ball to out of the backfield, and he can do it all. 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving. Just an overall extremely talented running back.
Ball at the 23. Montana doing most of his work to the air, and this time Pat Swilling gets through for his second sack of the game, and the third by the Saints.
Well, you can credit this sack with Jim Wilkes. Jim Wilkes, the right defensive end, ties up the blockers, ties up the tackles, and then 56 Swilling will come inside left of your screen. As you can see, he's inside, and then all of a sudden Guy McIntyre, number 62, the left guard, says, oh my gosh, that's my man. Too late. Swilling gets the sack.
Loss of 11 on the play. Swilling, a second-round pick out of Georgia Tech. He's got the whole package. Third down and 18, back at the 12-yard line for the Niners. Montana with a quick release hits Jerry Rice, and Rice is not going anywhere. Van Jakes, with help from Ricky Jackson, bring him down. And the Saints defense comes out strong here in the first series, and Max Runager will come in to kick it. Mel Gray going deep. He returned a kickoff 101 yards for a touchdown last year against San Francisco. End over end by Runager. Gray fell down, and the ball bounces. Torrey Nixon is there, and the Niners to down it. Gray lost his footing after Runager put his foot to it.
Well, one nice thing about being on the artificial surface, you can get a bad kick, and if you hit the corner of the ball right, you get 20 more yards out of it.
Syracuse and Pittsburgh, a big Eastern battle that the whole country should enjoy next week. Are the Orange for real? They beat Penn State, but now they've got to go against the Panthers. Pitt beat Notre Dame this year, so that's a feather in their cap, while Syracuse crushed Penn State.
Well, Pitt beat Notre Dame, but they look very sluggish against Navy, so they play the big teams well. So I think Pitt, Panthers, Syracuse is going to be a dynamite game. Panthers might upset them. You wouldn't like that, would you?
No. Alabama, no. First and 10 at the 37. 17-6 the score. Hebert hits Mike Jones, and close to first down yardage at the 47-yard line, and it is a first down. Ronnie Lott and Jim Fonhorst on the stop.
Well, you like to see that. The most important thing for a quarterback is confidence, and if it takes a 2-yard pass or a 4-yard pass to gain the confidence, then let's do it. And I think what they're trying to accomplish here is come out and throw any kind of pass to get some confidence to Hebert.
Jones caught the pass in the first series, and this was his second reception. On the 48, first down. Mays dives forward into 49er territory to the 46-yard line before Michael Walter, one of the inside backers, makes the tackle and a pickup of about 6.
Key to any running attack is the blocking of the tight end and tackles, not so much the guards and centers, but tight end and tackle. The tight end and the tackle are the guy that keep you inside and get you outside with your running game.
Mays goes out of the game for a breather. He has gained 89 yards on 15 carries, replaced by Dalton Hilliard. Hilliard and Word back there, and here is Hilliard, spins his way forward, and another Saint first down to the 40-yard line of the Niners, where Dwayne Board made the stop.
Jim Morris said that Dalton Hilliard was their best all-around back that they have. He's a guy that can run with the football, catch it. He's a guy that can block. He's the guy that has the most talent of all our running backs, yet he is not a starter. Mays is.
Hilliard was a higher draft pick than Mays. Mays went third, Hilliard second. Hilliard out of LSU, and a first down at the 40. Gets the call again, and Hilliard into a crowd. Picks up about 2, and he ran into Michael Carter, the solid nose tackle. Carter has a huge weight advantage over Joel Hilgenberg, the center on the New Orleans Saints.
Carter's 285, Hilgenberg's 265. Number 61 against 95, and then you can see Carter just simply throws him off, recalls, comes back, and makes the stick.
Gain of only 2, second and 8 at the 38-yard line. 11:25 remaining in the third quarter. And there's a delay to Reuben Mays, and Mays gets tripped up, but may have another first down. Tina Turner tripped up Mays. He would have had more yardage, but a first down at the 29-yard line for the Saints, and they're rolling here in this third quarter.
That's a well-deceived play. Hebert making it look like a pass. At 61 Hilgenberg, Jim Morris says, quickest hands I've ever had in any of my offensive linemen. Quick hands, no one to block there. Turns back inside. Carter goes back down inside, no one there. Well-described play. No one knew where the ball was going.
And a first down. Mays on the threshold of a 100-yard gain. He has 98. Hebert to throw it up the middle, and it's caught. And Hobie Brenner is down at the 15, and another first down for the Saints. A gain of 14 yards. Fonhorst and Walter on the stop on Hobie Brenner.
Well, if you can throw the football, then you can turn around and run the football, and you can mix it up. You can drive people crazy. They're running the ball well. Hebert comes out now, and he says, where's my boy, Hobie Brenner? There he is. Good job. Now, here's the time. Look at Hilgenberg, 61 on Carter, the nose tackle. Notice the quick hands and feet. These are the things that Morris said make him so outstanding.
And Mays off the right side, head down, gets to the 10-yard line. Saints with their deepest penetration in the ball game, and once again the two inside linebackers, Jim Fonhorst and Michael Walter, make the stop. And I would have to think, Terry, that even though it's only an 11-point game, that the Saints have to come out of this with some points.
Well, they need a touchdown. Some points, as I said at the closing of the first half, in the form of field goals. No, right now they need a touchdown.
Second down and 6 at the 10. Mays trying to go outside. Tina Turner, and Mays gets outside and is out of bounds. Penalty marker thrown as Mays is down at the 5. Ronnie Lott made the hit. Mays got by Keena Turner, and a flag appears to be against the 49ers.
Personal foul, late hit out of bounds, 42 defense. After this is to the goal line. First down.
And they love it in New Orleans. Ronnie Lott guilty there. Half the distance and a first down.
Same play. The second time they've run this play in the drive. It's a sprint draw. Hebert to the left, hands back to Mays. Now he turns on the speed and gets around Keena Turner. Now he's out of bounds. And Ronnie Lott just helps him out a little further. And you can't do that. And we'll take a little photographer and a ball boy with you.
Mays has now gained 107 yards. 7th time in his career he's gone over 100. First and goal at the 2. Tice in motion. Mays fights his way to the 1. 9:15 remaining in the third quarter. 17-6 the 49ers lead, and the Saints are threatening. And Mays gets a hand as he goes out. ...128 yards against the 49ers here last year. Second and goal at the 2. And they give it to Barry Word, who can't get in. Second effort doesn't do it, and now it's third and goal, and it looks like the Saints are intent on penetrating the middle of that line, and Michael Walter was equal to the challenge.
Let's call a goal line defense, and you have 4 tackles down inside, and when you try to run everything up the middle, it's extremely hard. That's why on second down, sometimes you like to put a guy in motion and play action and get outside and run or pass. Now you're in third down. They've run twice. Tice has gone in motion both times. Now look for Tice to go in motion, play action, and throw it to him.
Let's see. You were right last week for Atlanta. Third and goal. Play action. Hebert to Brenner, overthrown. And the former USC performer defended by Charles Haley, and now it is fourth down, and they've got to bring in Morton Anderson now. Here he comes.
Well, Tice went in motion. There's your play action to your eye back. He makes a nice job of diving, and here's the pass. Actually, what happened was that Hebert didn't get his feet set, threw off his back foot. Consequently, he overthrows Hobie Brenner in the corner of the end zone.
A tough spot for the Saints not to get 6, and it's fourth down, and Morton Anderson will try a field goal 19 yards with Hansen holding. Anderson's 2 for 3 today, and now he's 3 for 4. The field goal is good, but it's least you're with a little bit of a bad taste, considering how good the Saints looked on the drive. They settled for 3, and with that much time remaining in the third, it's now a 17-9 game. Terry Bradshaw here at the Superdome. 49er lead is cut now to 17-9. At one point, it was 17-3. Morton Anderson will kick off for the Saints. Del Rogers on the right and Harry Sidney on the left for San Francisco. Big play was a 14-yard pass to Hobie Brenner in that drive. Had to settle for 3. Now it's Sidney. Harry Sidney with the ball and going outside. Still carries a few defenders and knocked out of bounds at the 26 by Mike Waters. Talk about ball control. The Saints had it right there, my friend.
Well, that's what you want. 5 minutes, 38 seconds, 12 plays that accomplish everything you do. And if you can run the football and mix in a little passing and score touchdowns, hey, that's all you can ask of an offense. That's what you want.
Well, they need a touchdown and a field goal to take the lead in this game, do the Saints. 7:54 remaining in the third. First and 10, 49ers on the 25. Montana to throw on first down, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Wilson was the intended receiver downfield.
That time what the Saints did was come out in their form of the Chicago 46, take their 2 ends inside alongside of Elliott, and all 3 of those guys got up in the face of Joe Montana, put the pressure on him, and knocked the football down to the ground.
Tony Elliott, the nose tackle, got a hand up, so it's 2nd and 10. Montana dumps it off this time. Doug Dubose. And Dubose carries it out to the 31-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. Doug Dubose, rookie free agent out of Nebraska, the penalty marker. And it goes against the 49ers. Holding.
Holding, number 77, offense, still 2nd down.
Bubba Paris, the huge left tackle.
That's a good description. I saw him yesterday. I said, Bubba, you're looking good. I said, you look trim and slim. He says, no, not really, Terry, but I sure appreciate that.
You were trying to be nice to him.
I was. I meant it. He does look nice. Looks trim to me.
Depends on your definition. 2nd down and 20. Montana over the middle, and Roger Craig drops another one. That's 3 that Craig has lost today. And that one, like the last one on the flare, was wide open.
This is the 3rd pass Roger Craig has dropped, and this ball, had he caught it, was for a bundle. Now you notice Montana says, I don't believe it. This guy never drops anything. Every time I throw him a pass, he catches it, but not today.
And an injured player down is Bubba Paris, the left tackle. And it's interesting as you talk about the regulars coming back, Montana and Craig had played together in these games.
Well, they have, but normally when a back like Craig drops the ball, it's simply a matter of a fact that he's not concentrating, not having his eyes on the ball. He's looking up the field prior to making the catch.
And right now, while Bubba Paris is 10-2, let's go to New York for an NFL Today report. Brent Musburger.
Well, Dick, let's get you updated on Dallas, Philadelphia. The Eagles now leading at 20-13, and the quarterback, Randall Cunningham, has done a superb job. He hands off on this play to Tony for the score, but Cunningham set it up with a great run of his own. So it's 20-13 right now. Eagles lead the Cowboys. Back to Dick.
All right, Brent, thank you very much. And so some replacement teams have done better than the regulars, but not in Philadelphia, where the regulars have done better.
That's true. And Buddy Ryan, of course, was very upset with the way the Cowboys dealt his team, his replacement team, that embarrassing defeat in Dallas, and he vowed to wait till they come to Philadelphia. So evidently he's right now he's backing that up.
They're still working on Paris. I want to remind you, while they do, that this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this air division, the Rams and Giants really have on the short end of this and have a long way to go as Paris is helped off the field. Some of you will see Minnesota against Seattle.
Look on the right of your screen, and we'll see if we can pick up what happens to Paris. Number 77 comes back down on the inside, and looks like when he pushed off with his right leg, looked like the knee gave in to the inside.
Steve Wallace is in there, and it's third down and 20 for Joe Montana on his 15-yard line. Under pressure, dumps it off. Craig holds on this time, and he is stopped 10 yards short of a first down at the 26 by Van Jakes. And it'll be 4th down. And so once again, Terry, in the second half, the Saints defense skitterish early in the ball game, will look awfully tough.
Well, the difference so far in the second half has been the pressure applied by the defense of the Saints on Montana. He hasn't had a chance to set up and throw the ball the way he wants to.
Roniker kicking and a good high boot. Mel Gray with a fair catch at the 27-yard line. So the Saints, who are cutting into the lead slowly, down 17-9, have the ball again when we come back to the Superdome.
The pride's inside.
Plymouth Sundance. The pride's inside. Designed in and built in. Pride's in the performance, precision handling, front-wheel drive, fuel-injected turbo. Pride's in its quality, backed for 7 years or 70,000 miles. 47 quality standard features. Plymouth Sundance.
We're at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans. Dick Stockton and Terry Bradshaw with 6:50 remaining in the third quarter. The 49ers leading the Saints 17-9. At one time it was 17-3. And the Saints have come back with a couple of field goals and now have 1st and 10 on their 28. Reuben Mays and Barry Ward are the running backs, 2 tight end formation with Tice and Brenner for the Saints. Play action. Hebert has plenty of time looking for a man, and Lonzel Hill gets turned around, and he's out of bounds inside the 30. Ronnie Lott covering on the play, and that came oh so close to being a huge gainer.
Big play by Hill as he went outside down the field. Hebert got outside. Now look at this. He's 7-8 yards ahead of Ronnie Lott. And then Hebert leads him to the outside.
We might have had a problem with the time.
You see Hebert's reaction to the inside. I would have shown a lot more reaction to that if I'd have had a guy wide open for a touchdown.
It is 2nd down. There was a call by the official, no penalty marker down. It is still 2nd down and 10. And I'm not sure whether it was the clock wasn't right. It shows 6:40 or
Hill probably stepped out of bounds and came back
just
in.
like Francis did earlier.
Exactly.
2nd and 10. Hebert dumps it off to Reuben Mays, and Mays forward to the 30-yard line. It was Tim McKyer who slowed him up, and a gain of only 2 yards. So now 3rd down and 8.
72, excuse me, Jim Dombrowski, #1 draft choice last year of the Saints, Dick. Left tackle. He's the guy that they're building a future on. He's a #1, which is unusual. You make a draft choice, a #1 draft choice being a tackle, but look at this. Dwayne Board, 8-year veteran, just throws him to the ground. Makes you have to wonder, kind of wonder, doesn't it, if you have a guy that big that gets thrown to the ground by another guy that he outweighs 20 pounds?
Must take time for those offensive linemen to develop. 3rd down and 8. Hebert stepping up and going to Hill, and Hill makes the catch. Lonzel Hill with a 36-yard catch on a fine pass by Hebert. McKyer on the stop.
Ideal situation, left of your screen. Ronnie Lott, 42, will safety blitz. Hebert steps up in the pocket, finds Lonzel Hill, 87, going down the field as he's covered man for man by 22. 22 is Tim McKyer. Makes a fine catch.
Lonzel Hill is the son of J.D. Hill, who was an all-pro with both the Lions and the Bills. And it's 1st and 10 at the 34 now. Reuben Mays with blockers, runs into Ronnie Lott and knocks him back to the 25. And 9 yards that time by Reuben Mays, who has gone over 100 now with 116 in the game. Good block by Hobie Brenner, the tight end. Second and 1 at the 25. So the big pass play, 36 yards from Hebert to Lonzel Hill, puts the Saints in business here. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Well, they've been down here, and all they've gotten out of this is 3 field goals. They need to get a touchdown.
Dalton Hilliard in the backfield now. Hilliard cuts inside, has a first down, and gets to the 20-yard line. Ronnie Lott on the stop. 4 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. And the Saints, trailing 17-9, are threatening to come closer.
Well, there's an old saying, you know, when momentum shifts, things seem to, since all of a sudden nothing's happened good for you, then when momentum gets on your side, everything seems to start happening. And for the Saints, here in the second half, they're throwing the football, running the football, playing defense, all the things that they should have been doing from the beginning.
First and 10 on the 20-yard line. Eric Martin, the lone wide receiver, in motion. Inside handoff to Barry Word, and he gets knocked back. And so far today, anyway, Barry Word out of Virginia has not given the Saints what they wanted from the fullback spot, and that is some decent yardage on the ground. Roberts on the stop with Lott's help.
Lonzel Hill, 87, has the initials on his feet. Now, obviously, when you take a magic marker and write down JD on your footwear, and it indicates you're not a star in the National Football League yet. Once you become a star, then you get your name. Look at this. Look at this, JD. Maybe that's the name of the future shoe company, JD.
Second down and 7 at the 17. Ruben Mays slices inside to the 10 to the 5, loses the ball. A fumble, and the Saints have recovered. You remember in the first quarter, Mays lost the ball, and Lott brought back and set up the first touchdown. Word recovered here on the fumble by Mays.
Fine job by Kaminsky and Dombrowski, 72. As you see, 99, Walter come inside. He misses the initial tackle. Then all of a sudden, Farnhorst misses, allowing Mays into the secondary. Then he, of course, he fumbles the football again for the second time today.
First down and goal at the 7-yard line. The Saints have not scored a touchdown today. Hebert knocked away by Keena Turner, and it was Hobie Brenner who was back there wide open, and a sensational play by Keena Turner, who came seemingly out of nowhere.
Nothing much, you know, there's nothing really fancy about this. From the left of your screen, you'll see Hobie Brenner, 85, go down and come across to the right. And then Hebert just stares him down and tries to fire the football in there. And by staring him down, he brought 58, Keena Turner, all the way from the right back over to the left, who doggone nearly made an interception there. So,
well, the Saints have dominated this quarter, even though they still trail. Second down and goal at the 7. Hilliard hits one defender and is down at the 2-yard line. It was Ronnie Lott and Dalton Hilliard. Of course, he's so tough, the Saints tell us that he can play defense.
Hilliard coming inside. He's a low player, 5'9". As you can see, he gets underneath Lott, but Lott, probably one of the finest tackling safeties ever play in the National Football League, met the match and stopped him.
Look at that total offense this half. The huge edge by the Saints. Third and goal at the 2. Big play. Dalton Hilliard doesn't get in, and he stopped. And once again, a fourth down. Jeff Stover, who was just activated prior to the ball game, made the play. So when it comes down to goal line situations, the Saints having a lot of trouble running inside.
One of the things you cannot do, and I don't believe this, is you can't line up in the eye at the goal line and hand the ball to the deep back and allow him to score a touchdown without him jumping over the line of scrimmage. When you do that, get in the eye, you'll allow the recovery factor of the down lineman and the linebackers. It just takes too long to make a play happen. You have to line them up and do it quickly and not wait so long.
This will be a 19-yard attempt by Morton Anderson. And the kick is good. They didn't get the touchdown, but they got 3 more, and Morton Anderson has kicked his 4th field goal of the ball game with 38 seconds to go in the quarter. It's now 17-12.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular.
And they've come away with 2 field goals, and they're living dangerously, aren't they?
Well, Dick, you can only get down there and rub that little rabbit's foot so much before you know you rub all the fur off that thing and you end up losing the game. So, you know, when you get down there, you have to score.
Del Rogers, a yard in the end zone, returns the kick to the 15-yard line. You do have to cash in, as you put it.
Against a football team as good as the 49ers, and especially one in your own division, it's very important when you get inside the 5 with 4 down that you score touchdowns.
Other scores around the league. Tampa Bay clings to their advantage. Look at Green Bay in the 4th quarter, and Philadelphia going to work against the Dallas Cowboys. The Jets over the Washington Redskins. And look at this shocker, Indianapolis. We run them all off, and Buffalo making it close. 1st and 10 for the 49ers with 29 seconds to go. They're on their own 16. Roger Craig charges in front and gets a couple, and that's all. 49ers had 11 first downs in the 2nd quarter and none here in this one. Now the clock starts again. 2nd down, 9 at the 17. Well, the Saints can't score a touchdown, but if they do get a touchdown, they would take the lead. That'll do it here in the quarter. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter here at the Superdome with the score, the 49ers 17, the Saints 12.
Something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. Something in the way she moves me, I don't want to leave her now.
Its power will move you. Its beauty will stop you. The LeBarons, coupe and convertible, only from Chrysler. LeBarons are beauty with a passion for driving.
In the way she moves.
Once upon a time, there was a man named Rumpelstiltskin who could spin straw into gold, which was fine until he decided to travel.
We start the 4th quarter here at the Superdome. 50,000 plus here on the first post-strike game of the season, and the 49ers lead the Saints 17-12. At one point it was 17-3 in favor of the 49ers. Saints have trouble going in for the touchdown, but they're putting points on. There's the ball control story this half, and here for Montana it is 2nd down and 9 on the 17 as he calls the audible at the line. Craig and Dubose are the running backs, and the first man through is Craig. Gets tripped up and is stopped at the 20. It'll be 3rd down, and making the tackle, Gibson and Maxey in the secondary.
One of the things that Jim Mora likes about his defensive linemen, he talks about all of them, but number 75, Bruce Clark, bad knee and all, arthritic knee, but the thing that Mora says classifies him as magic quickness.
3rd and 5 at the 21. Montana, and finds his man out of bounds, Jerry Rice, and a 1st down for the 49ers on their own 30-yard line. Van Jakes defending on the play.
Going back to the 1st quarter where the defensive backs of the Saints had all those interference penalties, now you're noticing the effect. It carries on even to the 4th quarter. Van Jakes laying way off, allowing the receivers to come down, get way up underneath him. And boy, against a quarterback like Montana, it won't work.
Rice has caught 4 passes for 31 yards. That's the first down for San Francisco this half at the 30. Dubose. He had Steve Wallace blocking in front of him. By the way, Bubba Paris has a sprained right calf, and the word is he might come back.
Looking at 99, Tony Elliott. The nose tackle, Mora says he talks to him, and he talks to him in glowing terms because as a nose tackle, his responsibility is to take the guards in the center and very little glamour. And he says, I have to go up to him and tell him and remind him what a great job you're doing.
Has his first name on the shirt, too. Must be special. Johnny Poe in the game. Nickel back. And pass is dropped by Ron Heller, the tight end. He would have had a first down easy on 3rd and 6.
Montana 31 for 39 last week. Everyone catching everything he threw today. He's had all these passes drop. Faked the pitch out, rolls to the right. Heller 89. Faked the block and then rolled out with Montana and simply dropped the football. My gosh.
Montana now 14 of 27, just about over 50%, but a lot of those passes have been dropped.
That's a great day for me, but it's a horrible day for Montana.
Ah, come on.
I'm serious.
3rd and 6. Montana. And incomplete. Getting a hand on it is Mike Wilson, but that's all, and it's 4th down. So for the 3rd time in this second half, the Saints have held defensively, and Max Runeker will come in and kick it away, and Mel Gray goes back for the Saints. And the kick is blocked. And it's going to be a touchdown. Alvin Toles. It was Van Jakes who blocked the kick by Runeker, and Alvin Toles, a backup linebacker and a former #1 draft pick out of Tennessee, rambled in with the first touchdown of the game by the Saints. They did it on special teams, and the Saints lead it 18-17. And Morton Anderson kicks the conversion, and it's a 19-17 game. We'll return to the Superdome now after a word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered draft beer. It's as real as it gets. Honda, maker of the Accord LX 4-door sedan. And by Duracell, introducing freshness dating from Duracell. Now there's a date code on every new pack.
We're back, and the kickoff by Morton Anderson goes deep into the end zone, down by Del Rogers. And here's the big play by the Saints that put him in front for the second time today.
Well, special team coach Joe Marciano, they work on the block. You can see Van Jakes, 22, from the right side of your screen, gets inside, blocks the football, and Toles, 54, goes beyond the kicker, spots the ball way up in the air, gets it at the 11-yard line, and scampers 11 yards to put the Saints in the lead for the first time today. Hey, if your offense can't score, do it with special teams.
16 unanswered points by the Saints after trailing 17-3. 1st and 10 on the 20. Dubose trying to go outside and is knocked out of bounds on a tremendous hit by Vaughn Johnson.
You can see a carryover now. The Saints finally have the lead. You notice now the tackling. Vaughn Johnson getting inside. Now they're really trying to crush. You can sense the momentum, and everything's changed now in favor of the Saints. Now it's Montana's turn to take it away from him, and he can.
Vaughn Johnson, #1 pick in the USFL supplemental draft out of North Carolina State. 2nd down and 6 on the 24. Dubose again with cross blocking. And he is clobbered by 2 or 3 members of the Saints, particularly Vaughn Johnson again.
Dubose getting up, putting his helmet strap back on, wondering what's happened. But I've been in situations like this where you're in someone else's field and you play in a game like this, Dick, and you've had control of the game, and now you've let them take control. And you can tell by the hitting. The Saints are letting the 49ers know we want this game.
3rd down and 5. And Montana running away from trouble. And Montana dives forward for the first down. to the 32-yard line. Reggie Sutton making the stop on Montana.
John Pease said the thing that we fear the most with Montana, John Pease, defensive line coach of the Saints, is that when he pumps that football, we want him to bring it back up and have to deke it off to the backs or run with it. Because they know he's got a back problem, and they don't think he will run, but he surprised them then by getting the first down.
12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Plenty of time. First down for the Niners on their own 32. Montana going up top for Jerry Rice, and Rice has it. And Rice is down, and a penalty marker as well, and we may have a face mask with Dave Waymer defending on that play.
So much in the 49er passing attack is a situation. Bring in a player, isolate, get him deep, get him short. Each receiver does something special. Rice, special forte, going deep, burning defensive backs. That time he and Montana hook up.
Dick Jorgensen.
Personal foul, 15-yard face mask, number 44, defense.
Tack 15 yards on, Dave Waymer.
Very simply placed. You can see Montana back, has his eyes on Rice all the way. Turns around, lost a beautiful spiral, and then Rice beats Waymer. Not that much, but you don't need much. There's the perfect throw, and there's the right hand on the face mask. You can see it there.
That is the 6th penalty against the Saints secondary. Second against Waymer, and it's a 1st and 10. Jerry Rice, already one of the greats in the league, and an audible called by Montana.
Reads blitz.
1st and 10 on the 14, and the look-in pass will go for a touchdown to Mike Wilson. Exactly what happened, and Wilson was there. Van Jakes defending, and a 14-yard scoring pass, and the Niners regain the lead.
Very simply placed. Montana reads the free safety, 39 moving over. That's Brett Maxey. When Montana sees him go to the right, he turns around and goes to the left. It's a double slant, but he keys the free safety, and that's 39, Brett Maxey. Maxey goes right, Montana goes left. Maxey goes left, Montana goes right.
3rd touchdown pass of the game by Montana. He's hit 3 different targets. Jerry Rice, Ron Heller, and now Mike Wilson. And it's now 23-19, San Francisco leading.
And you could rock your baby to sleep right now in this building. That's how quiet it has gotten. Little Rachel could go to sleep.
She sure could. Worshing's kick is good, and it's a 24-19 game. And Terry, now the Saints are back where they were a few moments ago, needing a touchdown to take the lead. Well, we're cooking here at the Superdome, and after the block punt and touchdown by the Saints, Anderson with 4 earlier field goals, the Saints have controlled the ball, but because of Joe Montana and his big scoring strikes, it's the 49ers leading 24-19. Big play was to Rice, and then the score.
All right, Montana read the bump and run on both wide receivers, and he saw 39, the free safety, Brett Maxey. He's number 39. He's circled. Very simply placed. Montana will read him at the snap, and then he will turn around and throw the slant opposite the movement of the free safety. In that case, Brett Maxey goes right, Montana goes left. Easy as that.
Wilson's 2nd touchdown reception of the season, and Ray Wershing will kick off. Gray and Word are back, and it's Mel Gray at the 1. Gray gets by 1, but not the 2nd defender, and he is stopped at the 21-yard line by Harry Sidney. Well, last week the Saints were down to the Bears 17-3 and won 19-17. That was the score moments ago, and it didn't take the 49ers long, less than 2 minutes, to regain the lead on the touchdown pass.
It doesn't take long to find out what you're made of. The old saying is the gut check. It's all these things, but in essence, that's what it is. You find out what you're made of as an athlete. Can you handle pressure situations? A lot of athletes handle pressure situations better than they do the simple 1st and 2nd down, and a lot of guys are lousy then, but we'll put the heat on them. Bingo, they shine.
Well, let's see if Hebert can shine here with 11:15 to go in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 at the 22 for the Saints. Mays on a fake reverse keeps the ball, and Mays out to the 28-yard line is 3.5 yards shy of a first down, and making the tackle is Tim McKyer.
You got to give Jim Finks and his scouts a lot of credit for picking this guy in the 3rd round. This guy is Talking about Mays, 22 carries, 133 yards. Just turned out to be a superb back, just outstanding.
So he surpassed the 128 he picked up against the 49ers here last year. 2nd and 4. We'll call it at the 28. Play action, and Hebert looking wide open is Gray, and Gray has it and should have a first down at the 32. It's going to be close where they spot it.
Bringing Gray out like that, it's a read. The Saints run their routes with what they call the read route. As he comes off the line of scrimmage, Gray reads the corners, safeties, and linebackers, anyone in that area. And if the route calls for him to go deep and they're deep, then he breaks that route off. And he and Hebert have to be on the same page. That time Gray came out, saw everybody deep. He just simply checked up, and Hebert got him the football.
Not that the offense has done all that much scoring-wise, touchdown-wise, but you notice they haven't been yelling for Forcade when the Saints took that 19-17 lead.
Well, Dick, the bottom line in the National Football League is win. I mean, that's all anybody cares about, and they like to see a little excitement, you know, along the way. And the Saints in the second half have given these fans a lot of reasons to stay here and to pull for them.
1st and 10 at the 32, under 10 minutes to go. Balloons in your view.
Mardi Gras time.
Hebert lays it up, and McKyer and Gray battle for it, and it's an incompleted pass. You know, I think you get gun shy, and everyone turns around and thinks that there might be a penalty. The Saints have really been burned in passes down there on defense. Maybe they were hoping it wouldn't be an offensive call.
Lonzel Hill, the wide receiver to the right. As you can see, the arm that the Cajun rifle Hebert has, but that ball is actually, his arm is hit as he delivers the football. I'm surprised he got it as far as he did. Pretty good throw, isn't it, considering his arm was hit? Excellent throw.
For a lot of quarterbacks, that's their big effort, huh?
Well, I guess. Been even bigger if he'd have caught it.
2nd and 10. Mays, couple of blockers in front, dives forward to the 40-yard line. Will pick up a 3rd and short yardage. Michael Walter on the stop.
This is the old Bullets play. This is where you pull the left guard and the left tackle, the old Washington Redskins. Kaminsky 66 and the left tackle Dombrowski 72 pull to the right, and then you can see Mays in there right on their back, and he cuts off of them. That's called the Bullets. That's the old Washington Redskins play that Riggins made so famous.
3rd down and 1. It's a long one at the 41-yard line, winding down to 9 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter. Mays picked up the blocker, and the pass is caught for a first down, and it's Lonzel Hill, but you have to credit Reuben Mays for picking up the blitzer on the outside, allowing Hebert to have time to complete the pass. Lott made the stop on Lonzel Hill.
Reuben Mays, they say, is a complete football player. If you're going to run it, you got to block. You know, you got to share a little bit of that and help everyone else out, and obviously this young man, he's got the ability to block. Morris said, hey, he can block. There's no problem blocking.
1st and 10 at midfield. 5-point lead by the 49ers, and a handoff and a loss on the play. And that was Mays, and the protection and the blocking broke down up front, and it was Dwayne Board and Doug Mikolas, who was one of the replacement players activated by the 49ers, who made the stop.
Well, that's that play we saw in the first half, the old counter delayed draw, and they ran that twice. Mays actually ran about 20-something yards earlier in the first half, as you recall, going down in the score. 49ers had come out in the second half and said, no, we're not going to do that.
2nd and 16 as you check the scores. 4th quarter scores in the NFL. Hebert, and his pass is caught, and a great catch right there. Mike Jones with his 3rd reception of the game. Tim McKyer defending 33 yards, and Jones has made 3 big catches today.
A lot of people will say this is a better catch than a throw, but as a quarterback, you can't throw a better pass than when you underthrow it just a little bit. Once again, pressure in Hebert's face. Excellent coverage by McGuire, but an underthrown ball allows the receiver the advantage. Underthrow it, he's able to adjust to it. A defensive back can't do it quick enough.
1st and 10, and the Saints now to the 23-yard line.
You know, the strange thing here, Dick, is that Morris said our receivers are all moderate pass receivers. In other words, no deep threat here. All our guys are just medium, short pass runners, not deep guys, but hey, Jones showed them there.
So is Hill today. Mays looking outside, and great pursuit by the 49ers. Don Griffin finally knocked him out of bounds. A loss on the play of about a yard, but Dwayne Board and Michael Walter, a couple of big people, were chasing him as well.
There's a play that most National Football League teams have. It's called sprint right, throwback screen to the tight end. And you do it against a defense that's extremely aggressive. And this 49er defense, with Dwayne Board being the right defensive end, this is a great opportunity for Hebert to play action, sprint right, and throwback screen to John Tice.
Eric Martin and Lonzel Hill are the 2 wide receivers. 2nd down and 11. Now they have 3 with Mel Gray. Ball at the 24. Hebert in trouble. Fires it away, and it's caught inside the 20-yard line. John Tice with a terrific catch, and it looked as if he was just firing it to get it away, and Tina Turner complaining to Dick Jorgensen on that one.
Well, it looks like Keena may have been complaining that it was a sack, but you're going to see the pressure. May steps up inside trying to help out Hebert, but the pressure's too great. From the outside, now Keena's there. The 99, Walter's there. But a fine job by Hebert just getting rid of the football. I see nothing wrong with that.
He got away from Michael Carter as well, who had penetrated.
Keena's complaining, I bet you, about someone holding him.
3rd down and 7 at the 20. Saints already in field goal range. Blitz. Hebert lays it up, and it goes incomplete. Both Wilson and Harris, Jones and Harris, were down there, and it fell in between. Incomplete pass. Lott and Griffin were covering on the play. They had 2 receivers in the same area.
Well, 2 receivers in the same area is fine. The inside guy is supposed to go to the inside, but Bobby Hebert that time threw it beyond the first guy and way underneath the second guy. He just didn't know exactly where he wanted to throw it. He should have laid it up for one or the other.
Here is Morton Anderson, who is attempting to tie a Saints record, looking for his 5th field goal of the game. This from 37 yards. And Anderson's kick is good. So the Saints offense still has not scored a touchdown today. They have produced a field goal on each of the last 4 drives, and it is now a 2-point game. The 49ers in front. They're working on the lift for Bobby Hebert over in the sidelines, as the Saints had to settle once again for a field goal. You can see it's bleeding a bit. Morton Anderson getting set to kick off. He has tied his own record with the New Orleans Saints with 5 field goals in one game. 24-22 to score, and the kick going to Del Rogers at the 4. And Rogers is stopped at the 20-yard line.
A while ago, I was talking about the last pass by Hebert. He didn't give the short guy an opportunity to catch it, nor did he give the long guy. He threw the ball in between. Notice Lott on the slot guy. The ball is thrown way past him, but yet way under Mike Jones. Now, the frustrating part, the frustration shows here. Look at this action by Hebert, pointing to the ground. He's either hollering, telling him throw a flag, or one of the receivers ran the wrong route.
49ers, 1st and 10 on the 20. Jerry Rice in motion. On the counter, play action pass, and out of the backfield is Roger Craig. And Craig gets the 1st down to the 34-yard line. And now for an NFL Today report, we're going to go to Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
Well, Dick, Jim McMahon, playing for the first time this year in this half, dives in for the touchdown, but now the Bears blow an extra point. So it's a 6-point lead by Tampa Bay. About 5 minutes left in that game. Let's go back to Dick.
All right, Brent, so the Buccaneers trying to hold off the on-charging Bears. And right now, it's anyone's game. The 49ers, with 5 minutes to go, have a 1st and 10 on their own 34, leading by just 2 points. Craig, outside, stop, and a loss, and a big play by Van Jakes.
One of the things they like about Van Jakes, and the reason they moved Johnny Pope from right corner starter to backup weak safety, is that Van Jakes not only gives them a defensive back with great quickness and that can cover deep, but a guy that also is extremely strong and supports extremely fast. He read that well and was up there before anyone could block him.
2nd and 12. So once they settle down, these guys in the secondary have looked pretty good. Montana pumps, and down he goes. That's the 4th sack of the game by the Saints, and it was Frank Warren with help from Bruce Clark.
I don't want to beat a dead horse to death, but Jim Morris said we want to make him punt, and then we want to make him recoil and bring it back up, and we don't think he'll run with the football. That time, Bruce Clark, number 75, gets inside, beats his man, finds Montana on the outside, forces him to pull it back down, and gets the sack.
Here's a 3rd and 17, and this crowd is turned on their feet, waving the gold pom-poms. Montana, and the pass is called complete at the 45 to Jerry Rice, who just stayed in bounds with both feet, a gain of 18 yards and a 1st down, and he knew exactly where to go to make the cut, and he kept his feet in bounds. What a sensational performer Jerry Rice is.
Well, the thing that's so impressive about this is that that route is normally a 14-yard route, but Rice drove the defensive back deep enough that when he came back for the football, he would be beyond the marker that would give him the 1st down if he made the catch. He did make the catch. It is a 1st down.
That may be the big play of this game. We'll see. A gain of 18. 1st and 10 for the Niners. And up the middle goes Craig for a couple. And now the 49ers with a 2-point lead.
And then he gets the block right there, and that's the play that lets Smith get to the outside.
They cut Wilbur Marshall down, too, inside.
That was the off guard. Rick
47, clock running with 3:15 left to play. DeBerg to Wilder. Wilder hit and hurled backward.
Pass.
Dubos is the lone back. Craig is on the wing, and now Montana doesn't like what he sees and calls a timeout.
Timeout, San Francisco.
So the 49ers
dropping to 0-5, and though the odds
that's on the field.
The telephone. Marshall Walker. Now we've talked about how conscious the Eagles are. You see them react. Mike Renfro coming from the top of your screen. Now Danny just does again what he's done all afternoon. Hang the ball up in perfect shape. Renfro makes a great catch. He didn't have to go up in the air. He just could have kept on running. Look at the Eagles shifting. For Walker, incomplete.
Irish this year. Meanwhile, in upstate New York, Syracuse has emerged as the new beast of these. This was one of 4 Don McPherson touchdown strikes. The wide receiver.
the crowds are back. They expect 76,000 in New York today for today's game between the Saints and the New York Giants. The crowds are back, and so are the regular Giants. This was a scene last Monday afternoon at 1 minute after 1 o'clock as Bill Parcells welcomed his regulars back, and he'll need every one.
The Saints know that the Niners are going to try and use up time.
Well, it's very hard to do unless you blitz. The thing that's been so successful for the Saints in the second half is the pressure they put on Montana and forced him to bring the ball back down and not allow him to recoil and throw it
to the strike.
But what the 49ers are going to do here is continue just to run. Second down, look for them to run. Now, if the Saints show blitz again, which they just did, Montana only had 1 receiver and 2 tight ends, and he called timeout. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not they get together and say, hey, if they blitz, stay in this formation, we'll make an audible and throw the football.
Ball is at midfield.
Oh, they got out of 2 tights and went to 2 wides.
And it's a running play. Craig. And Craig gets knocked back He was looking as if he had the first down, but Vaughn Johnson knocked him back a yard shy. And with under 3 minutes to go, it's third down and about a yard, less than a yard really, for a first down.
Something about black jerseys that bring out the meat.
And this must have been
the hits that we've called out on him today have been outstanding, and that was a classic.
In the northwest, gusting to 23, and it will stay sunny. There's the opening kickoff, and Sikahema has it.
Quarterback sneak, and it's going to be close.
He didn't make it.
It looked like his helmet.
Gimbert, Leonard Marshall up front. Martin is replacing Eric Dorsey.
Martin in there to get a little more first down pass.
The 49ers call for a measurement in any event. It would make it fourth down, and it is. They won't measure, and Bill Walsh.
Of all the people to give the ball to, you got a guy that has a bad back. You've got running backs you're playing hundreds of thousands of dollars to, and $1 million for the quarterback to throw it. Give it to a guy that can plunge in there.
They're going to let it go down to the 2-minute warning. The 49ers. It's fourth down and 1, or actually a couple of feet. And we'll see how Bill Walsh plays it.
A.T. Smith and Roy Green back in harness this week. And the offensive line, Louis Sharp and Joe Bostic, Derek Kennard did come a strike, and the tight end is Jay Novacek. Gene Stallings in his second year, the 52-year-old head coach. Well, let's see if he tries a sweep on the second offensive play. Cardinal shift. Here comes the sweep to the right side. Stump Mitchell tries to cut up and gets only to the 30-yard line. Sounds.
Radio. Turned by McKinnon. The Steelers beat Cincinnati. Houston and Atlanta in the fourth. Detroit has really come from behind against Green Bay. 33-31, the Lions lead. Washington over the Jets now by 1. 30-20, the Eagles over the Cowboys.
Gift value, only at Radio Shack.
Field 111 yards last week. He gets a handoff. Breaks a tackle, scoots to the outside, and picks up. Terry Kennard with the...
That was then. This is now. The new fuel-injected four-door Civic from Honda.
We're at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans, and this game is up for grabs with 2 minutes remaining, and the 49ers leading the Saints 24-22. It's fourth and less than a yard, and Max Runniger has come in to kick for the 49ers, and so the ball will be in the court of the Saints and see what they can do offensively. They're in the ball game despite no touchdowns engineered by the offense today. Runniger kicking. Mel Gray is back for the Saints. Saints have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Nearly blocked, and a high kick off to the side. Fair catch called for by Gray at the 23, and that's where the Saints will go to work. A 22-yard kick by Runniger, and the Saints, who have scored on field goals their last 4 possessions, would gladly take a field goal right here, and if they can stop San Francisco, it would be a victory for New Orleans.
2 minutes remaining in this football game for the Saints. Abe Aaron has the opportunity now. He hasn't put the football in the end zone all day, and 77 yards to becoming a hero.
All they need is to set it up for a three-pointer, and a whistle sounds. They have to get the markers in order. The only touchdown by the Saints today came on a block punt by Van Jakes that Alvin Tolles ran in 11 yards for a touchdown. Other than that, it's been 5 Morton Anderson field goals, which ties his own New Orleans club record.
One of the things as a quarterback here, Dick, that makes this pretty easy situation to be in. As you realize, it's zones. Zones meaning everyone's dropping back and taking out a certain area of this football field. You don't have to worry about blitzes. Just get back, read the right zone, and go to the right seam.
Reuben Mays on first down gets a yard, and that's all. Michael Walter making the tackle. Mays has been the big gun today for the Saints on the ground with 136 yards. Second down and a long 8.
This is, you know, I don't understand the National Football League and why they don't have 2 plays called in the huddle and save 9, 10, 11 seconds. It baffles me.
Hebert in the pocket, going to Lonzel Hill, who's got it. Clock continues to run, and a first down into 49er territory.
Timeout.
31-yard gain.
New Orleans, first timeout this half.
They've got 2 timeouts left.
McKyer, 22, the man that takes the chances, Bill Walsh says, gets in the hip pocket of Lonzel Hill. Fine throw is actually Hebert threw the ball to the disadvantaged side of the defensive back rather than the receiver, and Lonzel Hill made a fine adjustment. I would have to say, off of his performance today, this man might be the starting receiver for the Saints next week's game.
Second-round draft pick out of the University of Washington. Hebert, and what a difference a half makes in looking at his numbers. First and 10 for the Saints. They're on the 49ers 43-yard line with 1:15 to go. They have 2 timeouts left. So does San Francisco, and Saints would love to get the touchdown, but a field goal would give them the lead. Herbert Harris in motion, and the pitch to Reuben Mays. Mays inside the 40. Stover on the tackle. And we're winding down to a minute to go.
The Saints are setting up for a field goal. Morton Anderson with 5 field goals. They're going to give him an opportunity to make it 6 and break his own record. I can tell you that simply because Mays is running the football, and if they wanted to put it in the end zone for a touchdown, they'd be throwing the ball. They'd be throwing the ball right now.
Second down and 5 at the 38-yard line. Again, it's Mays. Mays going outside and inside the 35 and close to a first down. The clock continues to run, and now the Saints use another timeout. Keena Turner and Jeff Fuller on this tackle, and now New Orleans has 1 timeout remaining, and all eyes on Morton Anderson.
All right, key point here. Second timeout has been expired. Third down and 1. They have to make the first down. They have to make the first down without having to go into a 4th down situation.
Well, we have a lot of drama and we have a lot of excitement tonight on CBS. Begins with 60 Minutes. And following 60 Minutes, it's Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury, followed by the CBS Sunday movie Family Sin, starring James Farentino and LA law star Jill Eikenberry. That's coming up tonight here on CBS. Third down and 1. Right now, if the Saints don't get anything, it would be a 51-yard attempt for Morton Anderson, whose only miss today was from that distance. Ball is on the 34.
Comiskey, 66, left guard, reporting in. They're taking number 80, Herbert Harris, out of the ball game, so they're going to go with 2 tight end situation here and 2 running backs.
Third down and 1. The clock is important. 1 timeout left, and Mays gets thrown back. He did not get the first down. He was knocked back to the 35-yard line by Dwayne Board, and now the Saints are forced to use their last timeout. And it'll be 4th down and at least a yard now.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. Back in the eye, back again.
They didn't call the time, and the clock is running. And they're gonna have to call it when they get close to it, like 7 seconds or so. But you're right.
The second time today we've seen the Saints line up in a deep eye back in a short yardage situation, give the ball to the eye back 7, 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and say to him, go ahead against all these people and pick up the first down. It really is putting a great burden on your offensive lineman and your running back.
So here's the drama. Morton Anderson, who has kicked 5 field goals to tie his club record set in December of '85 when he was 5 for 5 against the LA Rams. Anderson will be looking for a club record 6th field goal. Only 8 players in NFL history have kicked 6 field goals in a game. Jim Bakken of the Cardinals has the record with 7. This is a 52-yard attempt. His career high is 55. You'll know it by the crowd. No good. Not even close. With 2 seconds to go, and the frustration on the faces of the Saints and relief for the 49ers. And
well, you can't be disappointed in Morton. You just have to be disappointed and question some of the strategy on behalf of the offensive coaches of the Saints. This man, Morton, has only missed 2 field goals today, both of them from 50 yards, so you can't expect him to constantly win games for you. You got to go in there and try to make first downs and give him a better opportunity.
You know what was interesting is that Ray Wersching, who's been through this so many times, the kicker for the 49ers, came out to console Morton Anderson.
And the Falcons, in a game that has more meaning than just the standing.